to the Saturday Night Swirl with your host, Roadrunner89. Hope you enjoy.
I like a little vanilla in my life, and I might one day be a white dude's wife. That's alright. Yeah, I got a type. Some people don't like it, but the swirl is the hype. When I see a cute guy, I always gotta think, is he down with the brown? If he is, we about to link. And I ain't talking about the TikTok boys looking for clout, cause we can see right through the facade. Gross me out. I wonder, will he ever like me back? Imagine liking white boys when you're black, especially when you're from the south. The guys that like me are yeehaws with tobacco in their mouth. My celebrity crush, my little cinnamon bun. Ooh, that boy's the one, and I'm still not done. I never met him, he never met me. If he ain't down with the brown, what he about to be? But I digress. Y'all never mind the rest. I just like what I like, speaking from the chest. But hit me up if you're looking for a black girl, cause you know that this girl is down with the swirl. I'm just saying.
All right, welcome. Happy Saturday night, everybody. Okay, I got a show tonight, and I've been really wanting to do this show, and I want to talk about people attacking the swirl with propaganda, double standards. Okay, and that's what tonight's Saturday Night Swirl is about. Okay, and look, and here's how I feel. Okay, I want all relationships to work. Okay, whether it's same race, different race, or whatever. Okay, I think we do better in society when marriages work, when all communities do well. Okay, I don't like seeing nobody fail. I don't feel the need to put another group down to make Swirl to investment more successful. Okay, the Swirl to investment is successful because of the people that are involved, the people that have character. Now, when we look at stats, okay, black women, white men are leading the way. Okay, but marriage as a whole is kind of on life support in all groups. Okay, we're all lacking when it comes to love and marriage. Okay, the out of wedlock birth rate is growing in all groups. Okay, and I think in today's world, we're better off searching for character and people that align with our values. And I think we should search for character and not just aligning with skin tones. To me, that's stupid. Okay, we're all human beings and we go for the best option. And I found that the black woman is the best option. Okay, and nobody can tell me I'm wrong. Look, I got a 31-year marriage going strong. I only been married once. Only have children with one woman, my wife Sandy. Okay, and I chose right, and I seen something beautiful and amazing in black women. Okay, and I don't think I should just keep it a secret and just do my thing. No, I think I should be out here telling the truth because there's a lot of propaganda being floated out there. Okay, there's a lot of half truths. There's lies out there. Okay, a lot of stereotypes and a lot of double standards. Okay, and tonight I want to talk about that. Okay, because I'm hearing stuff on YouTube and the narrative viz that they're pushing is that black women be careful with white men because white men are creepy racist and all this stuff, and you might get chopped up and all this crazy stuff. But when we look at the data and we see domestic violence rates and we see women that are harmed, and look, we have a problem with domestic violence across the board. We do. Okay, and that's a serious thing. But if you look at the data, black women suffer the most when it comes to domestic violence. Okay, and when it comes to and when it comes to reporting domestic violence, black women tend to not report as much as other groups of women. Okay, but anyway, I'm going to talk about swirling tonight, and I'm going to go over the interview that recently happened between K. Michelle and Cam Newton. Okay, I thought it was a pretty good interview. There's some people that say that she disrespected Cam Newton, I guess because she said that she wants to date out and open up her options. Okay, and she loves white men. Okay, which I think that's pretty cool. But K. Michelle is a celebrity, and she's a top tier woman. She's going to have a top tier man. Okay, and really, when it comes to our lives in our everyday life, doesn't really matter who K. Michelle dates or marries. That's her business. That's her choice. Okay, I really don't care about celebrities that date, whether it's same race or interracially. All I really care about is people being happy. Now, I do promote Swirl to investment, and I think black women should open up their options because to have better options with men, you open up your pool, a bigger pool gets a chance of better results, right? And I think it's a numbers game when it comes to black women outnumbering black men by over 2 million, okay? And black men being the most to date out of any other group. I think right now, the number one group to date out when it comes to men is black men, and women, Asian women, okay? Those are the two biggest groups to open up their options, all right, statistically, okay? And look, it's okay if you open up your options. I just say do it the right way. Take your swirl to investment, okay? And go where your love's celebrated and who you can connect with, that who you share your morals, you know, and who aligns better with you, okay? All right, now, all right, I'm going to go into the K. Michelle interview. Okay. and you tell me what you think. Okay, I'm not going to show the whole interview with her and Cam Newton. Okay, if you want to watch it, you could go on Cam Newton's podcast and you can watch the whole thing. I watched it, pretty much the whole thing. And like I said, I thought it was a good interview. I don't think there was disrespect there. Some people say there was because I guess she held black men to accountable, right, for broken homes and children out of wedlock. But that's her right to have that opinion. Okay, I know that's going to hurt people's feelings, but it is what it is. But before I show it, let me put out the copyright disclaimer. Okay, let me get that up. Okay, now we're going to use these videos. Okay, we're going to use them for educational purposes. All right, for commentary, news reporting. All right, criticism, comments. Okay, I know some people will have their comments with this. Okay, and that's fine. That's what the comment section is for. And but we're using this, and I'm going to try to go with kid gloves, and I'm going to try not to disrespect anybody. Okay, but I am going to be honest. All right, and but anyway, all right, let's go ahead and get started. I'm going to show a clip of her video where she. Well, no, we'll go into the video and I'll use a clip afterwards. Okay. Let's add this to
top
this.
10 every year.
Okay. Now, what she's going to be talking about, he's going to ask her about has she dated outside her race. Okay. And let's hear what she has to say.
With that being said, this ain't got nothing to do with nobody. Have you ever dated outside your race?
Yes, that's all I would like to do.
Now?
Yes.
Okay.
I always get in trouble for this over the past 3 years. I've always told my sisters to go where they are loved. And I've always told black women to be open to dating, even outside of their race. I love black love, and I would like that. But to see my African-American women sitting around waiting on a black man as he chooses whoever he wants to choose.
Do you look at that?
I do.
So if you look at that as a way, no matter what it is, this goes back to accountability.
Okay, give it to me.
If you look at the black man that's in a relationship with another race as a side eye.
I don't look at it as a side.
Okay,
that's the thing.
Okay, how do you?
Okay, let me stop right there. Okay, she's saying he asked about have you dated outside your race? And she says, yes, she has. And that's what she wants to do. Okay? So she made it clear she wants to date outside her race. Okay? But what she did say too is that she encourages other black women to date outside their race and not sit around waiting for the black man to, choose them or do what he's got to do, right? Okay. I know that made some people mad, but what she did say that was respectful. She says she loves black love and she wants black love to be successful. Okay. So far, I'm not seeing disrespect. Okay. And I feel the same way. Look, I want every marriage to work. I want everybody to do good. Yes, I want black love to do good. I don't want to see it fail. Because look, when marriages fail in our country in America, we pay the price. I don't care if you're of that racial group or that ethnicity, but we pay the price, right? Because what comes out of divorce or what comes out of having children out of wedlock, regardless of the race, we pay for it through our tax dollars, through society. Children tend to not do as good as children that have two parents, right? than children that come from single parent households. Now, there always is an exception. I know amazing people that came from single parent households, okay? But they have a bigger fight they got to fight. They have to go through more because they don't have that balance. They tend to have to deal with less resources, only having one parent there. Okay, they're at a disadvantage. Okay? So if we have more marriages that work, our society does better. Children tend to do better. Not saying they will, but they have more opportunities. They have a better chance, right? I don't want to see anybody fail. I want whoever you want to be with, you be with that person. Okay? Now, since K. Michelle said she want to date out, she should be able to do that. And she shouldn't get hate for that. That's her decision. That's her business. Okay? And look, there ain't many men that's going to have access to her. Okay? So those people out there that see this and feel some kind of way, stop it. You don't have access to her. You never will. And who cares where she goes? Okay? But anyway, I just want to say she was respectful. She said she's for black love, but she wants to date out. And she should be able to. I don't see a problem with that so far. Okay? But you tell me what you think. Let's continue.
Look at it.
I want black men to do, if they were a black woman, to build a black family. I'm not the girl that sits up there and looks at the black man when he date a white woman or date someone and say, "Oh, you can't do that." Normally, I don't even want them men. And I've always dated outside of my race. And I would like for black women to be open to the people that like them. White men love me. Like, white men love me. And that is just
Once you go black, deep,
that's just the truth.
as it's getting thrown back, you ain't never going back.
Yeah.
Yeah, let me say, I'm pretty sure white men do love her. Yes, they do. I would say all men love her. She's beautiful. And she's a celebrity. She's famous. Okay. But, of course. And she seems happy about that. She wants to date out and white men love her. Of course they do. But, I see positive energy there. Okay. I don't see her putting nobody down yet. Okay. But sometimes we get confusion. We think we confuse hate with accountability or, and maybe that's where we're headed. But, she's gotten backlash. Yes. And she's going to get more backlash. Anytime a black woman says she wants to date out, especially white men, oh my God. And it shouldn't be that way. So what? There are people that date within their race, that date outside their race. Who cares? Do you? Wherever you want to go. Look, there's somebody for everybody in every racial group. Okay? If you're a white guy and you want to date black women, Asian, Hispanic, whatever you want, you could date those women. But do it for the right reasons. Do it because you love that woman, because you want to be with her. Okay? Don't do it to see what it's like in the experience. Okay? Do it because that's where your heart is. That's my advice. Okay? Let's continue.
They love me, and that's just always been what that is. Like,
I love that for you.
You do?
I swear on everything.
Tell me why you love that for me. Come on, friend.
I'm an opponent of happy.
Yeah.
Be happy. Go do, go be with whatever, whoever, whenever, as long as it incorporates happily.
Yeah.
Then whatever. Don't tell me you married.
I'm not.
If you
not
can't
gonna
tell me that you're happily married. Don't tell me you're in a relationship.
Oh, but they gonna tell you they married. I've been married, but you are miserable.
Yeah.
It reminds me of Frost Bistro. It reminds me of the Rashida and Kirk situation. They've been married for forever and they are miserable. That is horrible. And I just remember her yelling.
Yeah, if you've seen that, I've watched a little bit of that. And when she's talking about Rashida and Kirk from Love and Hip Hop Atlanta, yeah, they are miserable. Been married for several years. And look, if you're in a marriage, it ain't always happy, right? Um, I've known people that have been married for several years not happy. Okay. I thank the God, I thank God that I got my wife Sandy, and I love my wife more than anything. And I'm happy in my marriage. But some people ain't. And you know, and you should be with somebody that makes you happy. Um, a marriage is a beautiful thing. Marriage is uh ordained by God. It is something that brings men and women together and builds families and love, and marriage is great. Look, I can't see myself not being married, and me and my wife and our children and grandchildren through the years, it's been amazing. It's been a blessing. Okay. But if you don't love each other with all your heart, then you shouldn't be married, right? And I think that's what she's saying. But she's just using that as example. Yeah, those two people have had problems, But anyway, let's continue.
And I said, you'll never be married. Well, not to that bullshit. You was right. Don't just be married to be married. And
Right. Don't be married just to be married. Okay. If you're not happy, marriage don't, what's that? Cam Newton is in no position to talk about marriage. Yeah. When he's not the marrying type. Right. Let's continue.
that's what I want for black women. I'm all for black love.
Can I stop you right there?
Stop me, come on.
That's what my home, my nucleus was. I don't want to be married just to be married.
You want to be happy.
Thank you. Proceed.
Okay. I just feel like that. Like, life is so short. When you start losing people, or even me, I went through for surgeries, like cosmetic surgeries, I almost lost my life. To really think for a surgeon and people to really look at your mom's face, and people to really, the doctors really think you're.
Let me say something about that. Yeah. K. Michelle went through surgeries, okay, and to make herself more curvy, and she almost lost her life. Okay. She came close. Now, why she would do that when she's a curvy woman naturally, I just think it's the entertainment business, in the hip hop sector. A lot of women have BBLs, real curvy, and sometimes women get caught up in that because they want to be famous, look their best, and they get caught up, and it can cost people's lives. People have lost their lives by doing cosmetic surgery. My opinion is be you. Okay, if you don't have a big butt and you're not curvy, you just don't have it. God did not intend you to have that. And that's okay. You look at other famous people, like Anita Baker. She didn't have real curvy. Whitney Houston. She was skinny and thin, but a beautiful woman. She's beautiful in her own right. Okay, and Sometimes people get caught up in that body thing and they want to be something they're not. Don't be something you're not. Okay, ladies, if you got a little body and you're skinny, look, be the best you. Okay, and beauty's in the eye of the beholder anyway. Some men like skinny women, men like curvy women, and some in between. Okay, just be you. Be the best you. Okay, and I think she learned that, but you get caught up in the entertainment business. A lot of people go through that. And in my opinion, she never needed to do nothing to her body. I mean, and I think looking back, she's like, yeah, why did she do that? Right? But it is what it is. It's a learning lesson, you know? But anyway, let's continue.
You're not going to make it over trying to create or do something to yourself, and you say, God, give me another chance to live, and you live, you see life differently. Yeah, I done seen niggas get killed and stuff like that. But when it's you, I don't see things like other people. You get what I'm saying? Like, I don't have I just completely changed. Looking at your mother's face and they saying, what's wrong with her, all of this.
Can we get some tissue?
That's a different thing, you know? Mm-hmm. Looking at your life and praying to God, if you give me a second chance. This and that. Everybody don't get to live a second chance. Yeah. You know? Thank you. You know?
This is my opinion.
What?
When you happy, ain't too much got to change.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I say that direct, but indirectly saying the person that's making you happy, you start becoming the butt of the joke, but as long as you're giving the butt up, it's okay.
Yes.
You fat, pudgy little thing, girl, come on over here.
See, but I didn't have that. Like when I got into
That's what
game,
I'm trying to tell you.
You know?
And that's the power of relationships.
Mm-hmm. Like my guy now, he is Mexican. Mexican and black. And
Hispanic.
And the thing is, I have always been like, I realized, let me say this. The men that have treated me the best, we're going to get in trouble about this, Cam.
Talk to me.
But the men that have treated me the best have not been black men. Mm. And I'm a black mama bear. I am for black love. I'm a ride for my black men. But if we're being honest about the men that have treated me the best, they have been white men. They have been this and that. So when I got in a lot of trouble on B103 some years ago because I told black women to date in love, not in race. Oh.
Let me stop right there. Date in love, not in race. I agree with that. Okay? And your love might be the same race, and that's great, but it might not. Date in love, not in race. I like that statement. Okay? Now, people don't like her saying that white men have treated her better than black men. Okay? Now, look, that's her experience. Okay? And she has every right to feel that way or say that. Okay? And you know, that's her business. Okay? And why do people like her? Do they like her who she dates or who she's with, or do they like her music, her talent? Okay? There's a lot of black women that I love that I think are awesome that never dated out. You know? I think, you know, when it comes to music, I think Whitney Houston was amazing, beautiful. She never dated out. That's fine. Who cares? That's her business. Toni Braxton never did. Okay. I don't think she ever did, but they stayed black, and that's their business. Okay. K. Michelle opens up her options. Janet Jackson opened up her options. Donna Summer married a white man. Diana Ross married a white man. Diane Carroll. Some black women only love black men, and some want to open up their option. Who cares? Just like men, there's a lot of white men that stay with white women because that's what they're used to. That's just the norm. But there are men like me that, for me, it's black women. That's who I've always been attracted to. And it's not because of a lust or, a fetish. It's because I've seen beauty in black women. I've seen character. I love how black women are resilient. Okay, and that's me. You don't have to agree with me, but don't attack me for who I love, and I won't attack you for who you want to be with, right? I don't see anything wrong with what she said. Okay. Now, do white men treat black women better? I don't. I've heard black women say that a lot. Is it true? I don't know. I'm not around black women with white men and black men to observe and study it. Okay? But I will tell you this. Black women, white men, their marriages tend to last longer than when they're with their own racial group. Okay? Black women tend to do better with white men than black men. White men tend to do better with black women than white women. Okay, and there's nothing against those groups. I'm just saying it is what it is. Now maybe it's because of culture, tradition. I found when it comes to my faith, when it comes to how I've been raised traditionally, and how my father has always preached about getting, choosing a good wife and the virtuous woman. And these women, biblical women that were amazing women. Well, when I look at that in my life, it just seems that black women fit that description. Not to say other women can't fit that description, but what I'm saying, that's my experience. That's my life. Okay? And whatever group you go with, that's your choice. That's your business. Okay. But anyway, let's continue.
Baby, they told me up. You know what I'm saying? They tore me, black men tore me up. And that's why when I'm talking to you and I'm talking to you about, okay, I understand you want to be happy. Like I could come in here and judge you this and that. No, it's about happiness. Life is too short.
Can I give you some insight?
Give me.
Now, I think a lot of things are awarded. I think a lot of actions should come by way of not just given. It should be earned, so to speak, right?
Is that everything? Or are you talking about in love? What are we talking about?
I'm talking about everything. Certain things are default based, chivalry.
Okay.
Respect. Those things are just default. That's stock motor.
Okay.
You see what I'm saying? We ain't talking about no extra added amenities. But what I'm getting to is the men, no matter who they are, black, white, green, blue, it don't matter. I would tell you as women,
okay,
as a woman, but
right,
women in general, have grace with your man.
Oh, I do.
But understand this, don't assume. We have to stop assuming. There's a lot of times where we have, bro talk. And the worst type of bro talk is when you comparing and contrasting your relationships in a bad way.
Okay.
Man, you think your girl crazy. Man, you see what I'm saying? That type of talk, that's the point of no return.
Okay.
You see what I'm saying?
Okay, let me stop it right there. I wanted to get in what I wanted to. But there was one segment, and I'm not going to go to it, where she was crying and talking about how she wants black men to do better and love black women and build families and structure. And she got a lot of hate for that. And I think that's where they're saying there was disrespect to Cam Newton. I don't think she disrespected him at all, in my opinion. Some people think she did by saying, holding black men accountable and then opening up her options. Like, once she dates out, she don't have no right to speak on black issues, I guess. To me, I disagree with that. Just like I'm married to a black woman and I can speak on white people and what they do. And I can hold them accountable, and I should, right? I think we need to quit trying to segregate ourselves and quit trying to make our group look better than everybody else and, push half truths and hide things, and just hold people accountable. Because us as men, we do better when we're held accountable. Okay? We don't do so good when we're coddled and given an excuse. Okay? And I think where she's going with what she was saying is her experience. Now, she's dealt with abuse. Okay? She's with one guy that beat the crap out of her. Okay? She's dealt with some stuff. And do you know her situation, her life? Maybe some black men have done her wrong, and she's found love from white men. Maybe that's what happened. Okay? Just saying. But anyway. And maybe there's a different thought process, because it seems like, and maybe I'm wrong, maybe I'm just generalizing here, but it seems like from what I see online and what I've seen black people talk about is how they got to, come together and go through the struggle together, and they're supposed to be down with each other. And I don't agree with that. I'm not into collective thinking like that. I don't associate with white men because they're white. I associate with them because they believe like I do. And the ones that don't, and I'm more of a individual. I believe in that rugged individual. You choose your path and you go based on character and your own beliefs. And I think a lot of times getting in that collective type thing, like we got to stick together because we're the same racial. I don't agree with that. I think that's just you stick with people that have morals and courage and share your values. Okay. But anyway, let's take this down. Right. And this picture here is K. Michelle race loyal or swirl to investment? I think she's done both. Now, has she married interracially? I don't know. Swirl to investment's the best thing. I say swirl. She's swirled, and she's dated her own race, so she's went both ways in that. Okay. All right. Thought I'd make one with K. Michelle on there. And every time I do a show, I'll have a black woman, and we'll guess whether she opened up her option and stayed race loyal. Okay. All right. Now, let me do this other quick video. Now, guys, tell me what you think about this. Okay. And I want your opinion. Okay. And this was from a famous content creator. He's a black dude, and he was doing like a review on K. Michelle. But anyway, let's watch it.
One.
Oh, that's not the one. Sorry. Let's see, where's it at?
It's a pretty disturbing epidemic.
Okay, that ain't it either. No, this is it. Okay.
They go home at 5 and 6 o'clock when they.
Okay, she talks about country music as opposed to hip hop. Okay, let's hear what she has to say. I think this guy is Anton Daniel. He's doing a thing on her. But let's hear this.
Well, being in Atlanta all this time and then going to Nashville, where it's predominantly white. One, they go home at 5 and 6 o'clock when they're producing because they go home to their families. Being a country singer, if you are a singer in country music, you're a man. If you are not married, it is not respected. Family is respected in country music in that space. But in our space, we are singing about side chicks. We are glorifying a lot of women. That's not what happens in Nashville. You can't call a woman a bitch, a hoe in Nashville because they'll never even listen to your music and your professional career will suffer. At what point in the Black community do our men create real homes? And even talking, just our first time talking, and you said you didn't even mean for that to happen. Life happens. I'm not here to judge life. I'm looking at a successful Black man that has the ability to literally turn the narrative on Black family, you know? Mm-hmm. And my grandfather, I watched my uncles and everything. My whole family, they're married. I'm not the girl who didn't see what a man creating a Black family is supposed to be. So I'm asking right now, Black men, I got to tell my Black men to really step up for Black women and create families.
Yeah.
It's really not cool. Black men are attacking Black women. And it's not a cool, they're not creating homes. They're creating babies everywhere.
I'm just not going for it, bro. Honestly, listen, she looked good in her hookup, and I understand that she's being emotional right now. So naturally, everybody is going to gravitate to it, and I'm pretty sure that we're going to have a deeper dive into this on the Q show tonight. But the fact of the matter is, they don't really want to hear the answer. Listen, I've been married for 21 years.
Congratulations.
Literally. And guess
literally.
what? The people that attack me the most are Black women. You're going to have to address.
All right, let me stop right there. Okay. And I think, look, congratulations on him and his 21 years. Okay. Longevity in marriage is beautiful. Okay. But I think there's an excuse here. And I got to call this out. Okay. When she's talking about Black men building something. Okay. Now this is her experience. This is her talking. Okay. And he says, I'm not with it. Well, look, you know how many Black women are married statistically? Only 26% of Black women are married in America. 26%. About 32% of Black men are married. Okay? And they date and marry out more than any other group. So she's going to feel emotional because there's a lot of single parent families in the Black community. Okay? Now look, marriage is going down across the board, to be fair. I think the white community, I think we're headed to 23 to 25%. So we keep going on this path, we'll all be running around having children out of wedlock. Okay? We need to correct this as a country, as a nation. Okay? And why are Black women attacking him? Like, I just don't see it. I mean, in my life, I don't have Black women. Well, let me take that back. I do have some pro-Black pygmies that attack me, but that's online. That's YouTube crap. In the real world, Black women aren't doing that. And I think he's kind of headed for an excuse. Like, what she's saying is just not the real deal. Somehow it's Black women's fault. I can't, outside looking in, I can't say it's the Black woman's fault when only 26% are married. And also, 78% of black children today are born out of wedlock. Now, they got a Mellon study they did, and they determined black men spend more time with their children, so they're the most involved fathers, so they take it as they're the best. Okay, well, okay, fine, but you're not married to the women in your community. Okay? Now, maybe Anton Daniel, he's a traditional guy. Maybe he said he's been married 21 years. That's great. We need to have more married families. But, I think Kay Michelle's speaking truth, and she's emotional. She wants the black community to do good. And I think probably the reason she's dating out is not that she just wants to be with white men or her Mexican boyfriend or whatever. I think she's just going where she's receiving love. Okay? And look, she's going to be emotional. And marriage is not doing good, especially the black community is in last place when it comes to marriage. It is what it is. And somebody, sent me an email, says, Roadrunner, the black community back in the day was the most married, has the most marriages. And I look back in history, and sure enough, he was right. Okay? But what about 2025? What's going on? And see, when I see that low marriage rate, I think black women need to open up their options. I think we need to go for character over color. The days of being separated, excuse me, and doing our own thing, no, those days are over. And we're better as a nation when we come together. Anyway, my opinion is I think we need to come together as a nation, assimilate to an American culture, and stop looking at people as black and white and different groups. Just be people. Okay? And whatever problems we have in our nation, we come together to fix them. Anyway, but let's continue.
To Glorilla's. You're gonna have to address the Sexy Reds. You're gonna have to address the Meg Thee Stallions. You're gonna have to address all of the things that we see culturally that's basically incentivize women to leave men that they supposed to be with, and then ultimately embrace making the government their daddy.
Okay, here we go. The government tore the black family apart. And is it that 26% of black women aren't married because they want to get a check from the government and don't want to be with the black man? I don't think that's true at all. I think most black women would love to be married. And most black women want to be with a black man. Okay? But I don't, black men aren't wanting to get married. Maybe Anton Daniels does. Okay? But most do not. Let's be honest. Okay? And in the black community, when they do get married, they tend to do it later on in life. Like in their 40s, 50s, some 60s. Which to me is why you're wasting all that time. I can't imagine getting married at 40 or 50. Me and my wife were in our 20s. I was 24, she's 25. And we had all the awesome years in our marriage with our children. And we got to see our children grow and get married and have their own children. Now we have grandchildren. And that's what life is about. Why waste time? What are we doing as a nation? And a lot of men out there are okay with not being married. I hear a lot of things being said that, oh, well, I could have children and not be married, just a piece of paper. Come on, Anton, really? I really don't think it's because black women don't want to get married or they're acting like Sexy Red or Megan Thee Stallion. Most black women I know don't carry themselves like Megan Thee Stallion or Sexy Red. Okay, they're entertainers. That's not the everyday black woman. Or at least not where I live. I don't see black women dressing like that and, having their butt show and, and And look, I'm not into the today's hip hop and stuff. I love R&B, I do. But what are we doing with our entertainers? We have Sexy Red, Megan Thee Stallion, Cardi B showing off their body, and then they talk about white men being fetishizers. Really? I want to go back to the day where we had like Anita Baker that was classy. Whitney Houston, she was classy. Donna Summer. They weren't out there showing their butt and rapping about sexual things. They were singing amazing, beautiful music. But this is going back to blame the black woman. And look, I'm going to get in trouble for saying that. Well, you're a white man. You have no right to say that. Whatever. I can say what I want. Let's continue.
Like, I'm not going to fall for the okie doke just because she crying about it. And so if we going to have a real conversation, if we going
Well, let me tell you something. I'm going to fall for the okie doke. And I have, and I listen to black women because I see the beauty that black women have. I see the struggle they go through. I see the emotions. I see the spirituality. I'm going for the okie doke. And you know what? And I did. And I got my wife because I listen to black women because I've been in love with black women. So I observe. I listen to what they're saying. And those of you that want to open up your options to date black women, you better listen to black women. What do black women want? Listen to them. They don't want to be the strong black woman no more. They don't want to carry the weight of the world on their shoulders. They want to be loved. They want to live in their femininity. They want a man that's going to love them, respect them, protect them, and let them be the prize for once. Let them be the treasure. That's what black women want. Okay? And this okie doke stuff. Yeah, she's crying. She's emotional. She's been abused. Antoinette, do you know her history? And she's pleading with black men. Look, just do right. Do better. She wants the black community to still thrive, even though she's going to open up her options. Look, I just want to pull my hair out. I don't think me and him we see things so different. He's married to a black woman. Okay, that's cool. I just don't agree with what he's saying. And I think it's just ego. I think a lot of times with black men, it's ego. And look, when you're given an excuse, you're not held accountable. I think that does wear on men. You know, it's a black woman. It's white supremacy. It's racism. It's, when you got all these excuses and you got a way out, you can't be held accountable. Therefore, you can't do better. Anyway, I'm kind of drifting, but let's continue.
be honest about the truth of what's really going on with the families, like, we've broken down the statistics. I've already emphasized that the overwhelming majority of black men take care of their children, and they not just having willy-nilly children everywhere and it's just playing along to get along.
Okay, so why is only 26% of black women married? Okay, if they're not just having children to willy-nilly, why are only 26% of black women married? Why does the black community have the lowest marriage rate? Are you telling me that black men go procreate with a black woman and they don't care about marriage, but they just want to be the most spectacular fathers and just spend time with their children? They're doing everything right, just being perfect, right? Well, if they're all about that, they would be married too, in my opinion. Okay? I'm not going to buy into this. Oh, we're most involved because we're at the kitchen table more. We go to the park more. We're more. Well, maybe these other men have a job where they got to work longer hours and they can't have that opportunity. I would love when I was in the Army, I would have loved to stay at home every day and spend time with my children, go to the park, have breakfast with them, do all these activities. But I had a job. I had deployments. I had training. And I know that's kind of extreme from the everyday man in America, but there's some people that have jobs they're away. They can't be there. Don't mean they're less of a father. And there's some men that don't, that the woman takes care of the finances so they can be there with the children and be more involved. Okay? Now, I'm just saying. I'm seeing what I see. Let's continue.
There's a small majority of women that is having the children with the minority of the men. And now we want to try to make it seem like that it's a black man's fault because we putting Cam Newton's feet to the fire, or all of these women keep coming on this platform and putting his feet to the fire. But that's not the reality for what really happens inside of our culture. What happens inside of our culture is, of course, you're going to have some bad actors. But I say this often, and I say, yo, I can fix 98, 99% of all men, and a 1 to 2% of men can still populate the overwhelming majority of women. And if you want to solve for a problem, then you have to address the people.
Okay, here we go with this. I've heard this long. Most black men are doing the right thing. Just a few that are impregnating all these black women. So I think Pookie and Ray Ray are just so busy impregnating women. How do they do that? I mean, he's saying just a few. Look, 78%. Okay? Now, I'm going to be nice and say 70% of black children are born out of wedlock. Okay? Now, is it just a few bad apple black men impregnating all these women where most of black men are trying to do the right thing and just being great fathers and great husbands, but the black women don't want to marry them? Is that what's going on? You look at the stats and what he's saying don't align, in my opinion. He can't. They say, well, you can be a good father and not married. Well, okay, sure. But how many men that have children out of wedlock are at the house every day taking care of those children? Because a lot of them have children with other women. I don't believe this fact that a single father is going to be a better provider than a married man. Look, there's always an exception to the rule, but I found that most men that are married tend to be more involved with the children's, with the wife and the children. Now, maybe they're not home all the time because they got a job and they got to work late hours, but they're taking care of business, they're taking care of finances, paying the bills, buying the food, buying the clothes. Anyway. Okay, let's continue.
People that are opening up their legs and having the majority of the children out of wedlock instead of the men.
Okay, but for a woman to open up her legs and have children, there's got to be a man that gets in between those legs. It takes two to tango. You can't just put it on the women. Women cannot have children alone. And a lot of women are deceived into giving and being, what do they say? Black women, you need to be more submissive. You need to be, no, not unless you're married. And a lot of times they'll listen to that. There's a lot of submissive women having children out of wedlock because they love the man they're with and they want to, fulfill his needs. But not all of these men stay with the woman. And then she ends up being a single mother. And then they turn around and blame her and shame her for being a single mother. You cannot blame, look, in my opinion, if your community is bad, it's the man's fault. Okay? And yeah, there are corrupt women out there not doing the right thing. I get it. But if we do right as men and we do what we're supposed to and be the provider and protector that God created us to be, our communities will do a lot better. And a lot of the women would do better because they have a righteous man to follow. But I can't buy off on what he's saying. I just can't. It just, the numbers don't add up with what he's saying. Now, maybe in some certain circumstance, he's right, but for the most part, I don't believe he is. Let's continue.
That are doing the thing that's responsible. And you can't just take a sports figure and say, I mean, yeah, you can say, yo, Cam, why you doing this or why you ain't doing that or whatever, so on and so forth. But our culture is trash, and our culture is often dictated by the consumers, and the biggest consumers in our culture is the women, and they are listening to each other. They're not listening to the men. And when you hear some of these women, and I don't even feel like saying their names right now because I just ain't got time for the bullshit right now, but when you see some of these women podcasters and they refuse to hold their constituents accountable, and I say they constituents because these are the women that continue to vote for them, put their money in their pockets, and so on and so forth. And we now see the pedestalization of single women, even in politics, with the Jasmine Crockett's and the AOCs and all of that stuff. What do you think is going to happen when y'all divested yourselves against y'all men and then y'all started embracing the federal government?
Oh, here we go. Turn it political, Anton. Really? I mean, seriously. We're looking at the bigger picture. We're not talking about Jasmine Crockett and all this stuff. Okay? And this guy claims to be conservative, but really, are your values conservative? When you're just blaming the women? Because I'm conservative and I'm true to my faith. And when it comes to the community, the family, it's the man's responsibility to do the right thing. And we don't go around blaming women. That's a cop-out. Now, maybe his relationship's wonderful. I hope it is. And I don't hate this guy, but what he's saying is wrong. And he's taking a problem and making it political. But isn't that what we do? When we see a problem, we just turn it into politics instead of addressing the problem. Really, the problem is the men, okay? I'm just saying. The problem is the men. And I'm as traditional as it gets. Okay? But if we're not doing right as men, how can we expect women to do right? And we say we're the leaders, right? Now, how can we be the leaders when we have to be the prize and we have to, we can't take accountability and it's her fault because Megan the Stallion and Sexy Red and Jasmine Crockett. This has nothing to do with politics. It has to do with morals. It has to do with structure. It has to do with accountability. These politicians, look, however you feel politically, that's your business. But really what impacts your community, your life is you as a man. Let's continue.
For y'all, for what it is that y'all got going on. And contrary to popular belief, some of the most successful men, it don't have nothing to do with marriage nowadays. As far as the entertainers is concerned, it has more or less to do with whether or not you resonate with your audience. And guess what? The reason why the black community, they resonate so well with the disasters and stuff that's happening is because that's our reality. That is our reality. Real talk.
It's not cool. And I'm asking you, other successful black men, you have to set an example as leads. The cute social media back and forth on black women. Black women are strong. Black women are where you come from, this and that. So there probably isn't any sympathy for you and just life happening because there's so many other things around you going on that are not fair to black women. What is going on with the black family?
Why is it always our fault? Why are y'all always...
Why is it always your fault? Because you're the man, okay? Men take accountability. That's why it's always your fault. Guess what? When my family has problems, it's my fault. When the family ain't doing right, it's my fault. When my wife has problems, my kids have problems, it's my fault. It's always our fault, Anton. And this ain't even race talking. This is man to man. When it ain't going right, it's your damn fault. I wish men would man up and look, you want to be the leaders, you want to have the say so, but you will not take accountability. It's always the woman's fault. It's because she's getting emotional. I'm damn right she's getting emotional. And look, this is where in my life I've had success with black women. You know how? Because I fucking listen to them. Excuse my language. I listen to what they're saying. Listen to her, Anton. Listen to her. Why is it always our fault? Because we're men. If a nation falls, it's the men's fault. If the family falls, it's the man's fault. And until we as men get that through our thick head, we're never going to be right. And I think that's a problem with society. That's a big problem in the black community, in the white community too, because men are not men, because they want to have an excuse. Oh, it's because the women ain't doing this, ain't doing that. It's always our fault. The problem is you don't ever want it to be your fault. Let's continue.
Victims. Jesus Christ.
Sounds like he's the victim here.
I was trying to avoid getting to this, and I was trying to wait to get to this, but I just had to give my thoughts on it.
We are consistently creating the cycle of kids who can't come home and see their daddy there. And they see their mama sad at night. At what point is the successful black man in this world going to step in and
let me tell you something. I have to say this. K. Michelle would have married a black man. She's pro-black. She's black love. She's all that a black man wants. But they cannot take accountability, so they're going to lose K. Michelle. She's going to end up with a non-black man. And that's why she wants to date out. She's tired. Okay? And look, I can't speak for her, but this is what I believe. This is what I think. This is Anton Daniel. Oh, I can't believe it's always our fault. Yeah, damn right. Man up. It's about accountability. Why is the marriage rate slow? Why is the out of wedlock birth rate high? It's because men do not take accountability no more. What the hell? Ugh. I'm sorry. And this guy's a conservative. Yeah, traditional man.
really create structure. I see white men doing it every day. I get to witness the best of both worlds every day. Getting on stage singing R&B, being here in Atlanta, I get to sing R&B, but then I get to go to Nashville and be like, you mean you ain't staying out till 6 in the morning? You gonna go home to your family? You gonna write this song and leave at 5 and 6 because you gonna take care of your family and your wife? At what point do the successful black men build black families? We ain't gonna ever have a black family if y'all don't do it.
So, all right, and I may not be as familiar as some of y'all may be. Is K. Michelle married? And I'm asking because I'm assuming that.
Okay, so what he's doing is he's discrediting her. Is she married? So I guess if she ain't married, she has no right to talk about the community she comes from, the way the men are handling that community. Because she's not married, she can't speak on it. Really? I think that's where he's headed. Let's see.
She's an example because she said, and she set the precedent by saying that she's seen as in her own household and her own family, strong black men that kept their family together. So why didn't that leapfrog onto her if she's not? And I'm not saying that she is and she isn't, because I mean, I think that.
Okay, so if that's the case, why ain't today's black man being like yesterday's black man? In that case, right? See, he's twisting it on her, on women. What about the men? I'm just... Okay, let's continue.
I remember her having a kid, so her kid got to be pretty big or pretty grown at this point. But you know, I'm trying to figure out if let me hear some more, and then I'm gonna conclude this.
We're never going to have it. It's just not going to happen. So if your mentality is, yes, things happen, and I'm not knocking you for that. I didn't come here for that. But at what point do you take that black woman? Do you be in a home and show your kids what it's like, you know? At what point do you take a grip to it, not make excuses for it or mantras and things like that? It is so unfair to black women who have been the strength and builders of so many things. And I know life happens. You can't be with somebody you don't want to be with or whatever. But my grandparents did it. My grandfather,
What
92,
about
died when he was
you?
92, my best friend. I never seen another type of man. I saw that's why I've turned down 3 rings. Because they wasn't like my grandpa. My grandfather raised 9 kids on his own because my grandmama died before I could even meet her. What point are our black men going to?
Nah, I'm not going, bro. I'm just not, bro. I'm over it. I'm not trying to wrangle these crazy ones into the fold. I think that the culture is over and everybody got to be responsible for themselves at this point. Make sure y'all tap into the Patreon. Link is in the description. Teach him.
Okay, well, we're not going to tap into the Patreon. Sorry. Uh, I don't know. What do you think about this? I'm outside looking in the black community, right? And some would say I don't have no right to say a damn thing, but I don't care. I'm going to say it anyway. Okay. And I've seen some things because I have love for black women, and black women have been a part of my life ever since I was a child. I've seen some things. Okay. And I've been married to my wife 31 years. She's a black woman. Okay. And this is my opinion. Okay. I'm sure me and this Anton would disagree, but in my opinion, I don't think he's taking accountability. Okay. It's more of, hey, it ain't my fault. Look at me. I got 21 years. And, you know, black women are this, black women are doing that. And you, instead of, but men, we control marriage and your marriage rate is low. And she's telling you what she's been through. I don't think Kate Michelle is just going up here crying, making stuff up. I think she's really hurt. Okay? And I think she's been through some things. And instead of getting defensive and I guess there's this gender war thing going on. But listen to women. A lot of times us as men, we're hard-headed. And even though we're the leaders within our family, we still need to listen to our wives. Look, there's times my wife sees things I don't. There's sometimes my wife knows a little bit more than me on certain things. And if I'm the leader of the family, it would be wise to listen to her because sometimes she's right and I'm not. And my wife is very smart. She has wisdom. She sees some things. Okay. And when she's hurting as a husband, I got to listen to her, right? Because maybe I'm doing something wrong and I don't see it. Well, it's the same thing within the community. If women are hurt and your marriage rates are low, you're out of wedlock, birth rates high, then who's going to fix it? Are you going to just play the blame game down the road? That's my thing. Anyway, but let me go ahead and erase this. Okay, and I want to show this video too, guys. All right. and I'm not going to go too long, but if you guys want to come up, I'll put the link if you want to talk on this. Um, if not, that's fine too. I never want to not give somebody the opportunity if they want to talk. I'm gonna put the link up there. But I think, men, we need to take responsibility. Quit worrying about being right or wrong. Okay, there's corrupt women in every community. Look, if they're doing wrong, we got to do right as men. We got to push through. Okay. Anyway, let me show you this slide. Okay. And you see this. Okay. Now, here's the things that's going on. Okay. And a lot of times people will hate on the swirl and try to make it like, oh, it's white men are fetishizers, and that interracial thing never works, and all the crazy things they say, right? But when you get in a relationship or marriage, this is what you got to think about: economics. Okay. Now, single parent households do not do as good economically as married households. Okay. And 70% of children born out of wedlock, that does not help economics in the community. A lot of people say, well, it's racism, and it's white supremacy, and that's why the black community don't have as much money as the white community. I think it's the out of wedlock birth rate is higher, which you impregnate a woman, you instantly put her in poverty. Okay. Her and her children. Okay. 26% of black women are married, statistically. And then in the black community has the highest domestic violence rate. Okay. But they will make you believe that swirling is evil, and it's, and it's, you don't love yourself if you love a man of a different racial group. Okay. And here's an image of what you'll get. Okay. Now, I found this cartoon picture, and you guys remember when the ginger thing was going on, that ginger people are black, and they had this TikTok thing going back and forth. And, it was kind of cute, these redheaded guys getting with black women, and, and I found this cartoon picture, and it looks like they're both ginger, a black woman and a white man that got red hair. Maybe she'd be biracial. I don't know. But you can see the cartoon pictures, fetishizer. I don't know how many times I've been called a fetishizer, but I've only been married once to one woman. Okay. This guy's calling them punk ass swirlers. I've heard that a lot. This woman's crazy, black love only, no, angry. You love gingers? I do too. I think it's cool, But I've seen black and white people that got red hair, and they said there's like a genetic thing that kind of brings, maybe that's a connection with black and white people. We all came from the same place, right? Maybe there's something there. But that was a cute thing going back and forth, okay? And there's people who had opinion. Well, no, redhead white people aren't black, and some black people say they are black, and who cares? Be what you want to be. We allow men to say they're women and women say they're men, but we don't allow biracial people to say they're black or white. I mean, what? Look, you can be white. I have no problem. Wesley Snipes can be white. I'll give him the white privilege card. I'll give him a platinum edition. I'll say welcome aboard. But anyway, okay. But that's just some cartoon pictures I made. But But the out of wedlock birth rate's high, the marriage rate's low. Okay. And you guys see people talking about, oh, well, white men are dangerous, right? And there's this thing going on with pro-blacks where they have, the swirling gone wrong, the divestment gone wrong, and they show a creepy white dude that unalived a black woman, and they'll find one out of millions and try to make it seem like that's how white men are. They're going, unalive you and cut you in different pieces, and and look, I don't mind people reporting the news. If a creepy white dude does something wrong, I'm all about accountability. There are evil white men, okay? I'm not going to pretend and say, oh no, we're all wonderful. No, there's some evil within every group, okay? And you guys remember this case, right? Sade Robinson, it was a sad case. A beautiful black woman got with this creepy dude that was way older than her. Okay, that was sad. And look, this guy, we could take care of business with a 50-cent bullet. Wouldn't cost the taxpayers much money to handle business. That's my opinion. Okay? This was tragic. It was evil. Okay? But these pro-black channels will show this video over and over and picture over and over and over. But they will never talk about black men doing it. Okay? Now, I'm for protecting black women, and we got to know who is harming black women, right? Now, you look at this case. You remember this case? Mahogany Jackson, okay? You remember her? Now, she never opened up her options. She never dated out. She never divested, but she was unalived by people in her own community, black men and black women. Okay? Now, this would be a case where you say, well, she should have divested and got out of the community. But if I go and say that, people are going to be all hating on, oh, no, that's just a few bad apples. But how come these pro-black channels do not show Mahogany Jackson and what happened, her story? How come they don't show that? Don't we want to protect black women? Do we not? Or are we only concerned when a creepy white dude does it? Because you see 8 creepy black people right there that unalived this young lady, and they went great depths. They beat her. They pistol whipped her. They raped her over and over, and then shot her in the back of the head when they were done. But they're not going to talk about that because it don't fit the narrative. You know why? Because they want to protect you from white men. But black men, now you're on your own. Or we're going to act like that don't happen. We're going to act like it's one-sided. One-sided accountability. Look, and I've spoken on white men that have done bad. That Sade Robinson thing, I spoke on that police officer that unalived Sonia Massey. You remember that? I talked about it. I went in on that dude. He gunned her down in cold blood. But see, I have character. I have morals. I could go in on my own community because I see evil in my own community. But when you can't call out evil in your own community's destined to fail. Because when men don't have community, they're worthless. And I don't care what race they are. They don't have accountability, they're done. But we don't talk about this, do we? We just talk about Sade Robinson, that creepy white dude, over and over and over again. And I can do that. That's fine. But it shows me there's no character. There's no accountability. Did anybody ever talk about Ariana Preston, Chicago police officer that came home after a shift and was gunned down by young black teenagers? No, we don't want to talk about that. We're worried about the creepy white dude. It's kind of like Black Lives Matter, you know. They don't come in unless it's a black man and a white police officer. If it don't fit that description, they're not there. You know? But look, we need to call everybody to account. Because black women are the most unprotected, most disrespected. And let's be honest, black women are the most race loyal, so who's doing the most harming? Now, there are white men sprinkled in there doing the evil deeds too. Okay? But if we're going to protect black women, we got to protect them against all men. Not just white men, but black men too. Asian men that do it, Hispanic. Okay? Let me show you a couple news reportings. Okay, this was some years back, and it talks about domestic violence. And I wish these pro-blacks would just watch this so they can improve. Right?
The spot that 1 week ago, 3 black women were killed, 2 others injured in that horrific domestic violence incident. The alleged gunman, a 19-year-old man who was the boyfriend of one of the women shot. It's an epidemic that the local domestic violence agency here in Virginia Beach says is only getting worse. After the mass shooting in Norfolk, one that killed 3 women and injured 2 more, the hotline at the Samaritan House Domestic Violence Center surged in calls. Women so concerned looking at their own situation that they needed help.
Women in color are killed at a disproportionate rate than any other race.
The statistics are hard to swallow. Listen to this. According to the CDC, African American women are 3 times more likely than white women to experience death as a result of domestic violence.
3 times more than white women to experience unaliving by domestic violence. This ain't me talking. This ain't no bashing the black community. This is the CDC, okay? These are people that study this stuff. But are we talking about it? Are we protecting black women? No, we're not. Only if it's a creepy white dude. So black women, if a creepy white dude is coming after you, we're going to protect you. But anybody else, no, because we only want one narrative.
22% of domestic violence events ending in homicide are of African American women. The CDC also says domestic violence is one of the leading causes of death for black women ages 15 to 35.
The economic disparities, the ongoing discrimination, they're less likely to have the better jobs and economically don't do as well. Maybe they're dependent on their abuser more so than other races.
Other reasons for the epidemic, according to experts with the Samaritan House, include fear of isolation, not knowing how to navigate the legal system, fear of arrest, and even skepticism of intervention and shelter services. But some of the reasons go back deeper.
Because of the marginalization of Black and African American women here in the United States, due to historical discrimination, due to economic hardship.
Okay, here we go. Okay. She's going to say because of the economic hardship, racism. Okay, maybe that's factors that led into it, but it's providing an excuse right there. Okay, well, it's not really the black man's fault because of slavery, Jim Crow, systemic racism. Then there's no accountability. Then it goes back to white supremacy. So who loses in this deal? Black women still lose because they're the ones that are being unalived. They're the ones being abused. Okay. And you're telling me because of economics, look, that's no excuse. There are poor people all over the world that don't harm each other. Okay. There are people that are discriminated all around the world that don't harm their own families. Okay. Now, discrimination and all that stuff, that could be part of the problem, but there still has to be accountability. And you can't just hold it to the white man and not the black man, because then there's an excuse. Then it's not his fault. Oh, well, society. And I've heard black people even say, like, I've heard Umar Johnson say that black people harming black people is a part of white supremacy. Like, okay, well, then once you tell people that, then and they don't stop harming people. I mean, anyway, let's continue.
As well as social injustice, reaching out for support and assistance to law enforcement has historically been something that has been very difficult.
Another alarming trend, says the Samaritan House, bystanders being killed in domestic violence incidents. First,
well, and I can see where having issues reporting it because you're scared. Well, when you've been taught that white people are the devil and they just want to harm you, then some women might think the police is just going to harm them. I don't know. Maybe that's a factor too. But I think it's the men within the home that's got to fix it, or it won't get fixed.
in the case of Samaritan House employee Alicia Herford, she was killed trying to help her daughter, Morgan Bazemore, in March. Both were shot and allegedly killed by Bazemore's boyfriend. And then, of course, the 3 innocent women killed in the mass shooting at Young Terrace.
I just have never seen this bystander, these helpers getting hurt and killed and shot. That's a shift that I have seen personally, and I've been here for 20 years.
So what can be done to assist in the trepidation these women of color may have?
Folks that are allied to the community of Black and African American people, we really need your support. It's important that you stand up.
And you can even call.
Okay, she said she needs our support. What can people outside the community do? How and that would be my question. She said, people can help. Okay, I love Black women. I don't want them to be harmed. How do I help? Roam the streets at night and look for women in distress? Donate money to the organization? I mean, it's hard to protect a woman in a household you're not there. And I'm just asking an honest question. How do you fix it? I think it starts with accountability and within. Accountability is not a bad thing. When somebody points out your fault, it hurts, okay? We're human, right? We don't want to be called out. We don't want to be told we're doing something wrong, but we have to be told that so we can be better. You know what I mean? That's what we need as men. My father was probably the most critical person ever. Oh my God, he'd point out every fault I had, and I got sick of it. But you know what? He did it because he wanted me to be better. He didn't want to give me an excuse. And I understand that, because a man with an excuse is pretty much a neutered man, because he can't fix himself, because it's never his fault, right? Oh, hey, Shelly, beautiful. Good to see you, young lady.
Hi, how are you?
How are you doing? It's been a little while. How you been doing?
It has. I've been doing great. Thank you for allowing me up on the stage.
Oh yeah, no problem. I'm sorry, I was kind of talking. I hope you didn't sit there for long, because I looked down. Oh, there she is.
No, I had to. This is my second time coming back because it was acting up, and I'm like, really? So this is my second time coming up. But no, everything that you were saying was right. Yeah.
Hey, you're saying facts though.
Hey, how's it going?
Good.
Yeah,
hey, you're not saying anything wrong though. Let's just call out black men. Black men are the ones who doing it. Like I'm not offended with what you're saying. I'm a black man myself, and I agree with you, because I'm not the one who's doing it. It's It's
Right.
done. Dude, you got me. I'm gonna support you.
Oh, thank you. I appreciate it. And yeah, it's not all, but we need to call out, things that are happening. And you know, like I said, with the Sade Robinson, that creepy white dude, he is wrong. And I shouldn't be mad if somebody shows that because it's just. But if we're going to protect black women, we got to do it across the board. And us as men, we got to be held accountable. Because if
Yo,
we're
I
not,
got that.
you know, um, but
No
yeah,
cap. Okay, if I telling them this to them, they were laughing at me because I got a speed impediment. I got autism. They will use that against me instead of trying. They will rather use that against me instead of trying to debunk my statement. I use stats though. Black men abandon their kids. It's not it's not black women's fault that black men abandon their kids.
I
Like
just
yeah,
wanted to.
black men need to be leaders.
right,
We can't be blaming everything on women.
right.
I just wanted to jump in. I'm sorry, I
Okay.
didn't mean to
Oh
cut
no,
him
go ahead.
off. It's a lot to unpack, and I'm gonna start with this. I have a few things to say. Number one, I remember the last time I spoke to you, I think it was like a year ago, and I was talking
Uh-huh.
to you about the psychology of black men and black women in the community, and that
Hmm.
how with black men they want black women to hate white men on their behalf, but they won't hate white women on on black women's behalf. And that's basically what it is. They view the white man as the enemy and just the white man as the enemy, and that's it. They can go out and date interracially white women all the time, and that's not a factor, you know what I'm saying, because they don't look at
Right.
the white woman as a equal evil, right? So when these men, these Israelites are talking about the white man is the devil, they're just talking about the white man. They don't look at the white woman as the devil. So they want black women to just hate white men. Don't you go with the evil white man, but then they can date white women. And black women also enable that behavior because it's black women that will come online and bash black women that date interracially, all while their sons and their uncles and whatever are dating white women. You understand what I'm saying? They don't see the correlation with that, right? And black women enable this culture. You ask a perfect question. You say, well, how can we protect black women? Well, I'm here to tell you that you can't, because black women don't even protect themselves. Because
Right.
if you can't identify and say what the problem is, then nobody can help you. Because, like I said, black women view every black man as their son. That could have been, if something happened to a black man, that could have been my son. That could have been my father. They view every black man as a black man in their family, where black men do not. They're able to
Bro,
what's the word, compartmentalize the black woman
Yeah.
that they don't know to the
It-
black woman in their family. So when they're talking about, black women, or 3 or 4s, and they're bad mothers and blah blah blah, they're not actually talking about their mother. In their head, their mothers were never slurs. Their mothers were virgins until they were married. Well, then of course they're not married, but their black mothers didn't do anything wrong. Their black aunties are all virgins. They didn't never do anything wrong and stuff like that. But but me, they look at me as the enemy, and Black women enable it. Black women do
Yeah.
not want to say what the problem is because in their minds, they're after
Mhm.
black men. They're making these black men do this. Is white supremacy, and that's why the community can't grow. Black women have to also name the problem, and black women do not want to name the problem because to them, they don't. And a black woman told me is that they don't want to call the cops on black men because they're calling their cops on their brother. They're calling, and I'm like, that's not your brother though. That man
Yeah.
that punched you in the face, that's not your brother, hun. You know what I
You,
mean?
you,
But it's
Yeah.
just, it's just, yeah.
Can I say
yeah.
something about this one comment? This woman got mad because I was sticking up for a black woman like my mom isn't, but like my sister isn't black. Why wouldn't I why wouldn't I stand up for black women though? No, that doesn't make sense. If I don't hate nobody, I got raised by learning how to love people, respect people. I look at this though. You can't get mad at me of me calling out other black men what they're doing. I want to see the race do better.
Right. Right. Um. Yeah. Well, what's going on is there's been a lot of times black men come on here and they'll say good things and they'll try to uh, take away from the conversation or in a way go in on the black women or try to turn my channel into, I don't know, how can I say this? There's been black men that have tried to sabotage my channel. But I appreciate you standing up for black women. That's great. I look, and more men need to stand up for black women, black men, white men, all men. And I
Yeah,
appreciate that, sir. And
that
but
really gonna make me mad though, because
yeah, but
how you gonna call me a panhandler though
well,
without no evidence? That really making me mad. Hey, yo, though, if you don't trust me, I can't really get mad though. I'm just about to be 19. All I gotta do is just go to school, start my construction business. I just want to help my community do better. I
yeah.
don't, and I like how you span love to black women. I don't hate that. I actually respect that. And you generally love black women. And I actually see that.
And I appreciate that. But hey, Shelly, I wanted to talk about what you were saying with the black woman and their sons and where they see, and I've seen that, and it's kind of weird because oh, he dropped the Shelly, are you there?
Yes, I'm still here. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I just want to talk about that because I've seen that, and it's kind of weird because black women will. I've seen a lot of times because they got a black son that they feel they got to support the black man, and some feel they got to be with a black man, or they're kind of. I guess I don't want to speak for black women, but it seems like they feel they're betraying black men because they got a black son. Where a lot of time us white men we're different. We could, and I've seen white men that have white daughters and they can go in on Becky till the cows come home and no big deal. I could make fun of white women with you guys, and I don't associate it with my white mother or the white women in my family, which I love very much. Okay. But I I guess I gotta separate that where some black women can't. It's like in a way, is it like built in the collective? Like we got to just stand up for each other because we're all black.
Yes. Oh,
It's
sorry.
kind of weird because, and I think white people were like that, like in the 50s, maybe the 50s, 60s, and way beyond. They're more collective than now. Because I'm telling you, white people, we are so different. I got family members in California, down south, and when I get with my family, we're just so different. We don't think alike. We're not in that collective. Like I see where black people are. They'll be different, but you know what I'm saying? It just, to me, it's weird because I can be with a black woman and I can marry my black wife and it's no big deal. And nobody cares. I mean, there's some people that don't like it or don't agree with it, you might say, but people think that when you're in an interracial relationship that the white man's going to have a racist mother or somebody in the family that just says something and they can't handle it. And that ain't true. At least not in my world, but we're not connected in the collective like that. If someone tears into a white man, I don't get upset because that's not me. If they say white men are doing this and they're being stupid, I don't, does that make sense? I don't look at myself as that. And I think it's more of a basic collective thinking.
No, you're absolutely right. You make sense, but I'm gonna also put this out there. Also, it is a conditioning. It is propaganda, and I'm gonna tell you why. Every time they don't do it as much anymore because, contrary to what a lot of people believe, and I'm gonna tell you just straight up that all that propaganda that they're spewing right now is not working. You know why? Because I've seen so much black woman um with other races of men. I'm like, that's
Yeah.
like the only thing I look at. Um so it's honestly not working. Why? Because black, a lot, like, the vast majority of black women are like still brain. Black women have peeped how black men are. Like, something can happen to a black man. Like, what's the guy that got unalived by his white girlfriend?
Oh yeah. I don't know the names, but I know who you're talking about. Is it the one that got stabbed or the one that was cleaning her gun and it went off? Is that what it was? I don't know the names. I haven't. I know what you're talking about though. Can you hear me? Hello? Can you guys hear me okay? I think I might have lost Shelly. Uh, Give me a 1 if you can hear me. You guys can hear me? Okay, good. Thanks, Jennifer. Hey, Shelly, can you hear me? I think I might have lost her audio. Or okay, you guys can hear me though. Can you hear me, Shelly? Okay. I can't hear her. Oh, she dropped off. Hey, Shelly, you can come back up. I don't know what happened. I think your audio went out. Let me see this real quick. Okay. Just hit the link again and I'll pull you back up. I think it went out. Okay. Well, I'll continue on. If she comes back, I'll bring her back up. I think she's just having problems with her audio. Let me show you this video. Okay, and it was from a long time ago. And it talks about The out of wedlock birth rate in the black community.
On catastrophic.
Oh wait. Hey Shelly, how's it going?
Yes, can you hear me?
I can.
Yeah, that was
Okay.
weird. Okay.
Yeah, sorry you dropped off. It just I seen you, but I didn't hear nothing. So
Yeah. Can I just say one thing before you play the, because I know I was
yeah,
listening
yeah.
to you. Yeah, so yeah, so what I'm gonna say, it's not working. Like I'm saying, more black women are opting out to date out. That's all over my timeline. And they're in marriages, and these are black women that are showing their marriages. They're showing I'm not really for it because I don't like, showing your partner. However, it is good because then other black women, and especially black young girls, could see black women getting loved by different races of men, like going on vacations, keeping a beautiful home, taking care of their children, and the husband is involved. And so that is being pushed out there. They could try all they want to, but it's not gonna stop, because like I was trying to say, is that when this Telvin guy got unalived by his white girlfriend, black men would never come online, in the mass and say, black man, that's why you can't date white woman. They do not care. And so
Right.
black woman is saying, like, hey, okay, this happened to that young girl. It's sad, but that's not all white men, and that's not the white
Right.
men that I'm with. And so yeah, it's not working. That's why they keep pushing it, because they're really seeing an uptick in that, for races all across the board. And I think that that also had a lot to do with the black wife effect. By these non-black men, especially white men, showing their black wives, and the glow up, and how the wife is beautiful and stuff like that. And that's a good propaganda. And yeah, and there has been an uptick in interracial relationship with white men and black women. You understand what I'm saying? Because now black women are like, no, you know what, we're going to open up our options, and we're not going to be, as race loyal as we once were. You know what I'm saying? And
Yeah.
I forgot to say, oh, one more thing. I'm sorry. So the reason why a lot of black women will see their sons in a lot of black men and stuff like that is because propaganda was pushing that. Because anytime a black man was unalived by a white police officer, they kept on showing the videos over and over again, and talking about how the black man was unarmed, and they were basically telling the world that black men are victims, and that is brainwashing. So you're constantly hearing about a unarmed black man, an unarmed black man, an unarmed black man. He was just walking on. He didn't do anything. He didn't do anything. He didn't do anything. And they would repeat it over and over and over. And it's a brainwashing. So not only are black men looking at themselves as victims, you see, I'm not doing anything, I'm the victim of white supremacy. They're also brainwashing black women into saying, yeah, our black men are being attacked by the big bad white man. And they're
Right.
playing it over and over. They're not doing it as much anymore, because that in 2020 with the George Floyd situation, that actually kind of broke the spell with a lot of black women. And a lot of black women are, a lot of black women are resting. So you're not really seeing black women going out there marching and stuff like that anymore, because like we were called masculine. So, it's masculine to, get in a man's face and yelling and screaming. So black women say, you know what, yeah, you're right. So that's been like 5 years now. And you don't really see that as much. You don't really see black women going out on the forefront for black men as they once used to anymore. That propaganda, it held on for many years, but a lot of, especially the new black girls coming up, they're not doing that anymore. They're not. No, you go out and you march for yourself. And it just goes to show you that it was always black women that held up the black community, because if black women don't go out there and march, black men don't go out there and march. You understand? Nobody goes out there and march.
Yeah.
If black women say we're sitting down, the whole community is sitting. Now you see black men is not stepping up. You understand? I'm saying they tried that with the monstrous statue in Times Square, that biracial man with a white mother, no
Oh
offense,
yeah.
and a black father erected and to fight white supremacy. I noticed that he didn't put a black man there, you know,
Mhm.
and black women said no, we're not doing it. And I'm glad that black women, caught that. We're like, no, we're not doing that. If you want to fight white supremacy, you complain about white supremacy, you're the victim. You put your image of your father there. Why you didn't put an image of a white woman? Why you don't, your wife is white, your mother is white. Why are these white women fighting for black men? No, they want black women to do it. And black women said, no, we're not doing it anymore. You could erect all the statues if you want, but we're not going back because we already see that you don't care. So it's not working. You know what I'm saying? So I'm just getting here to tell you that's not going to stop me if I see a beautiful white man and we connect and he have the same values as me and we have the same value and stuff like that. That's not going to stop me from pursuing a relationship. If he pursue a relationship with me or any race of men, that's not going to stop me because I'm not looking at them like it's all white men that did that. You know what I mean? So no, it's not working. Yeah, that's all I wanted to say.
Yeah, I've seen a shift through my years and more interracial couples, and it's a beautiful thing, um, and I've talked about the black wife effect, and and when I came on YouTube, I wanted people to see me and my wife, right? To see real people in a real interracial relationship that works. Me and my wife been married 31 years. We got 3 children, 2 grandchildren, and our kids are grown up, and I wish I could show my whole family because I'd love the people to see my family, see how we're different, and but we all look alike, and we're happy and doing our thing, and we didn't go along with the norm that society says you should. I love the black woman ever since I was a child, and and I could never understand why people told me I was wrong for that. That and thank God my parents didn't tell me that. They just wanted me to have a good wife, and the black wife effect has impacted my life. And I'm glad they had that because when they showed the video of black women, and you see the white man, he might look a little goofy, and then he's dressing nice, and you see an improvement. Okay, it's a cute little video, but it goes deeper than that. And I've spoke about it on many of my videos. How my wife, with her love and had my back, made me better than I would have been without her. You know what I mean? Where black women, they bring out the best in you. That's the black wife effect. It's like she takes your potential. You can be a good man, but she'll make you better. And it's because of her love, her support. And black women, they are the most loyal. Okay? We say they're the most race loyal, but truly black women are the most love loyal. If a black woman truly loves you, you're blessed. Okay? And she'll make you better. She's not going, it's not like she's carrying you, but she's bringing out the best in you with the love that she's given you. And I talk about my life, how my wife has brought out the best in me. And the black wife effect is real. And I'm not saying other women can't bring out the best, but not like a black woman. I mean, I got to be honest. Black women are the most loving women on the planet. If she loves you, and I've said this, and I've heard a lot of men married to black women will say the same thing. a lot of non-black men will say that. Like, she just, there's something about black women. And because of society, because of how we've been raised, we haven't got to know black women, and seen the true beauty and seen how resilient black women are. And they say black women are, strong black women. And I think what it is black women have character and black women are resilient. And black women don't get half the credit they deserve, you know? And I think a lot of times black women's love and loyalty can be a true blessing to them, but it, in a way, can be a curse if she's giving her love to the wrong man. But anyway, that's that's it in a nutshell. I mean, and I just I feel I have to tell the truth. And people say, well, you're just saying that because you got a black wife. But yeah, but I've been married 31 years. I've been married more than most people. Our children are doing good. My oldest daughter makes what I make and she's 28. But she does have a master's degree. My son is, already got his platoon, moving further than I did in the military. My youngest daughter, she's doing her nursing thing, and and the reason is because, and I give my wife credit for that. Now, I had a part in it, sure, but she brought out the best in me, and which brought out the best in our children. Now, anyway, I could talk all night about that. Yeah.
Yes, thank you so much for all you do. You said you wanted to show a video?
Yeah, I was going to show it. It just talks about the out of wedlock birth rate, and this was like 10 years ago, this video. And they were saying it's at 72%. I don't know if you want to see it. Go ahead.
Yeah, you could show it, but it just goes to show that black men were never marriage minded.
Yeah.
That's it. Like you talk about white supremacy, but you're not even marrying your race of woman. I mean, the white man, not saying, I'm just gonna quote here, a quote that they say that the white man is the devil. The white man could be the devil all as much as he wants, but he marries his woman and he takes care of his children. So, what are we talking about here? You don't even marry the one you're talking about. You're the chosen, and you're the you were here from the beginning, and so you're telling me you were here from the beginning, but you have people that came after you and they are surpassing you. Like, how dominant can you be? Like, you just gotta tell these people, these men, the truth, and these women the truth. Like, you can't be that dominant that somebody that's not dominant could dominate you for over 400 years. Okay, the out of wedlock birth is because you're not marrying your race of woman. But you're gonna talk about other races being the devil and stuff. They marry and keep families with their race of woman. To me, that's not the devil, sir. And I was
Yeah.
brainwashed myself. I can't believe, I'm so embarrassed to admit that I once believed that. Okay. And one day I was like, well, wait a minute here. Something doesn't add up.
Yeah.
Look at these devils, but they're marrying their woman and building and communities and jobs for their people. What have you built?
No. And I heard people say, I got a video of this woman I shown before, this black woman, and she talks about how white people are trying to break up the black family, and I thought about that. I'm thinking, how could the white community break up the black family, and how are they doing this? Because I try to see things through other people's shoes, and I'm like, where are they coming up with this? I mean, and I'm thinking, are there Klan members at the courthouse not letting black people get in there to get married? Is there white hate groups just threatening black people not to get married or not to build families together? And, and, and which ain't true, because ain't nobody stopping anybody from getting married, and you know what I mean? It's a choice. And they can't say it's white supremacy, because the white supremacist wants the black family to be together so they don't go over to white people. Okay? The true white supremacist wants to have an all-white America with no black people or any minority, right? That's the true white supremacist. Now, he would rather the black family be married and together than coming over to the white community. So the white supremacists ain't stopping black people from getting married. Nobody is. They're just choosing not to. You know? And are you
You're
coming up?
absolutely right.
Yeah.
You're absolutely right. Nobody is making these men do or not. Let me just break it down for you real quick, right? Let me just break it down for you real quick. It's so funny how, like, when you sit down and you really analyze this thing, like, you become, first I was angry when I woke up, and I realized that I was tricked. You become so resentful in the beginning. Like, I was so resentful of black men, like I couldn't look at them. Now I don't feel anything. Like, it passed. I went through emotions like anger, sad, denial, and now I'm just empathetic. Like, I don't care. Like, you know what I mean? I just look past them. Like, I don't care when I realize that they're idiots and they're losers. Like, and like, I just can't just, like, I don't feel anything when I look. I just walk past them. It's like I don't care anymore. You know what I mean? Like, I passed the stage, because when
Yeah.
you really sit down and you start to think, I used to get headaches, and because I realized that, like, it's like, you can't do nothing about. You just gotta let it go. You know what I mean? Like, you just gotta
Right.
let people be who they are. And you're telling me that white supremacy can stop black men from doing everything except for being in the NBA, except for being in the NFL. They constantly talk about their strength, their physical strength, but not their mental
Right.
strength, because they're just mentally stupid. So you're telling me that the white man can stop you from doing everything except for dominating the NFL, except for dominating the NBA, except for dominating rap and R&B. The white man can't stop you from getting your passport to go to other countries to get other races of women. The white man can't stop you from dating white women, because that's their ultimate goal, and to feeling like a man. They can't stop you from doing all of this, but the one thing they can stop you from doing is building. So the white man have all this power, but you can move and make money, and you're let them tell it, they're the number ones chosen. All women like them, all women want them. So the white
Yeah.
man can't stop all races of women from wanting you, but he can stop you from building. You get the hell.
Yeah.
Listen.
Hey, let me really love white. Uh I see you down here. You gotta connect your devices. If you're trying to come up. Oh, here we go.
Hi,
All right.
Brent.
Hey, how's it going? How you doing?
This is good Diva Divas.
Oh,
This is
okay.
me.
Hey, good to see you.
You got me
Oh,
saying
okay.
Godiva. Godiva, good.
Godiva got, is that right? Godiva?
That's right.
Okay.
Godiva.
Good,
Godiva,
good.
like the chocolate candy.
Oh, okay. All right. Good to see you. Welcome to the panel.
Hey, how are you doing? Hello,
Doing good.
fellow panelist.
Yeah.
I was talking to the young lady.
Oh, Shelly, yeah.
Hello,
Yeah,
hi,
Shelly.
how are you?
Hi, Shelly. I forgot.
Hi,
I am
good
heated.
night. What?
I am heated. I am hot. I am. Ugh. I am. I agree with you 100%. Uh. uh I don't have anything against. Let me just say this. I don't have anything against Kinsey personally, but he really upset me. I'm sick of black men trying to pander and then getting caught doing something shady. History has proven they can't be trusted. Period.
No.
That's all I'll say on that. But for what she was saying, what Shelly was saying, where you said when you found out and then you were angry, right, Shelly? Hello?
Oh, I'm sorry. I was talking and the mic was off. Yes, because Road One and I have been friends for a long time. I used to come on his show a lot, but I've been busy doing other things. And so we spoke extensively, and he know my whole life. And so I'm just gonna put it out there. At one point, and he knows this because I spoke to him about this. I was a Israelite at one point, and it was just a lot of stuff that I saw behind the scenes that I didn't like, and I did not like the fact that like we were always constantly told that the white man is the devil and blah 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 blah. But then I would see these same men, like we was all supposed to be, um this black empire. We were supposed to be in Christ, and we was supposed to take over the world and stuff. Like, I was brainwashed myself, right? And so I was just like, well, how come, like, you're talking about white men, but then y'all preach that it's okay to be with white women? Like, I thought that, but shocking to me, I didn't know they was only talking about the men. Oops. I was like, oh, okay, so y'all just talking about the men, not the women. You know what I'm saying? So we're brainwashed to hate white men on their behalf. Like, we want to fight for them because we're told that it's the white man that's doing this to them and stuff like that. And when I left the church, okay, it was like my eyes was open. I'm like, wait a minute, white supremacy is not doing anything to these black men. Like, I live in a black neighborhood, and I don't see white men committing crimes. I don't see white men out here throwing garbage in the street. I don't see white men, taking black men, excuse me, out of the home. I'm not seeing this. Where was the white supremacy that I was told, what I was conditioned to believe in? I'm not seeing that. And so because of that, I used to be like, no white man. And here is the tea, real quick, Godiva. Here is the tea. I would rock my natural hair, and I used to get more attention from these devils, excuse me, than I would from the black men that is like, yeah, queen, we love a natural queen, whatever. And I'm like, I'm not seeing the love when I walk outside. I'm seeing love and adoration from my natural hair from white men. Okay, and a few Hispanic men. Okay, it was white men that would come up. You're so beautiful. I love your hair. They used to look at me, and I would walk down the street, and these black men wouldn't see me. They would see the black woman with the weave, or they would see my, they want them fit, what they said, fit, feminine, and friendly, but yet and still you know, my, I'm not trying to hate on anybody, but my overweight biracial friend would get more attention than me being slim and with my natural hair. So, I became angry and I became sad. And then I realized that these men are full of ish.
Well, I'm glad you left that
Yeah.
nonsense. My husband chased me from all around the world. He just saw me somewhere and he just had to meet me. So I never believed any of that nonsense. I like you were talking about Britt, the Sade incident, but
Yeah.
if you look at the news, her father was nowhere in her life until after she went to college.
Mm.
So she didn't see the difference between. I mean, I saw the news footage. That is no one I would have went in there and sat down and had any conversation with. Who shows up as a grown man to a date in a t-shirt?
Right. Yeah.
So there was like
Yeah.
so many red flags, but she missed it because she's 19. She doesn't have a dad in her life. Her mother's probably overworking. The father showed up eventually, but where was he from the time when she needed him to teach her the things she needs to know where that horrible thing wouldn't have happened?
Yeah. Yeah. That there was a lot of red flags. I mean, the age gap, the way he
Hmm.
looked, he just looked creepy. Like, oh
Yeah,
my.
he looked creepy in the
Yeah.
courtroom when his
Yeah.
hair is cut and he's dressed. He didn't look anything like a provider or someone that's looking for a relationship.
Right.
Even the bar looked janky.
And it just seemed like, she was a beautiful young lady,
Hmm.
and you look at her and like, why would she gravitate to
Exactly.
that dude? I just I couldn't. I was like, wait a minute. It just, yeah. It's, but it's sad. But you know,
Yes.
I, I'm okay with them bringing that up. But there's so many channels that show that over and over and show those pictures, and it's propaganda. They're trying to say this is how white men are, and
No.
they'll tell black women, if you open up your, this is going to happen to you, which it's not.
But I came up one
But
reason to say the ironic thing about that and the one with the guy that unalived his wife, the one where she was running up the stairs with the children and all of that.
Mhm.
That's really that's the effect that happens to you when you do not leave the community, or you
Yeah.
leave it because you're sick of black men, not because you want better. Then you just end up with trash in a different skin tone. Because if
Yeah.
you look at the men, they act just like that's that white guy with the swag. They act just like the dudes they just left. So what's the point of leaving them if you're just gonna end up with the same mentality in a different skin tone?
Yeah, I call them the vanilla thug boys. I
Uh,
just, yeah.
we call them powdered donuts.
Hey, donut dusties, yeah, that too. Um,
I'll let
yeah,
Shelly talk though.
yeah, but yeah, I just, they're not telling all the stories. If you care
No,
about black women, you show everybody that's harming her, everybody, and it's like selective accountability, selective outrage.
exactly.
You
And
know,
these silly black women, they're part of the problem. These pick me's, these mammies, like K Michelle. She's saying all of that to make them jealous. I looked at her dating history. She dated one white guy, and that was nonsense. But it was the black guys that beat her up.
oh, yeah, yeah. I saw the pictures of her after she got beat up. They beat her. Yeah, she got beat pretty bad. But yeah,
Yeah.
but
And then Cam Newton is supposed to be the authority for
right.
decency of manhood. Please.
But here's the thing: why are they getting mad at Kay Michelle? Who cares who she dates? Like, I mean, these guys that are worried about it would never have access to her to
No.
even worry about it.
If she thought more of herself, she wouldn't even be there. That just
Right.
reminded me when Nina Long was trying to talk to Jeezy after his marriage blew up,
Mm.
and then he ran back to black women. I'm like, stop talking to them. Let them fall. That's the only way they're gonna learn.
Yeah. Yeah.
Shelly, what
They're
do you think about that? What do you think about the Cam Newton, Jeezy? They always trying to run back when they proclaim everyone's better than you based on nonsense, and then as soon as all that blows up in their face, they want your sympathy. What you think about that?
I don't even think about it. Like I said, like I am like I when I say that I don't care anymore, like I don't see them.
Hmm.
I don't even know what happened. Like I was because it happened like last year or something. They was doing an interview. Like I don't even care. I just know that, like you said about the pick me, Godiva, like what you said is true. Is that black women enable this behavior though,
Hmm.
because they would know not to run back because there would be nothing to run back to.
Right, you
But
would
if
cut
they're
them
constantly
off.
running back, it's because they know that there are going to be black women out there that's gonna catch them when they fall. I'm not catching nobody.
Oh, me either. I
Okay.
could care less. The only thing I care about
Okay.
is the young, impressionable girls that see
Exactly.
idiots like Kiki Palmer and this
Oh my
and
God.
Halle Berry. How many red
Oh my
flags do you see with GED? He is
God.
just an idiot.
Oh,
Oh my God.
It's
Listen.
like,
Okay, let me
how are
jump in.
you in Disney's
We,
Little Mermaid and you end up with
oh
this
my God.
fool? And then
Girl.
Rihanna and her foolishness. So that's what
Girl.
I look at. I look at the girls that are,
We try to I
ugh,
remember I was told off in the chat because I was like, yo, leave that dude alone.
that doesn't matter
And
to me. I don't care about that. Like I told
she
the Jennifer girl, I said, you're going
mm,
to end up in poverty or unalive trying to see potential in them. They do not
exactly.
like you because they cannot best us. That's why they don't like us. And once black women get that, you'll drop them, leave them alone. You'll abandon them like they abandon everyone else. And I'm talking historically.
Exactly.
I never been with them,
Girl.
ever. But I got 7 brothers, and they're nonsense.
And just like how people was trying to tell her that what happened is exactly
Mm,
what happened. So
mm.
and people was like, you should have sympathy or whatever.
No.
No, I'm not gonna have sympathy because at the end of the day, she was telling people to mind their business. So at the end of
Mhm.
the day, I'm gonna
And
still mind my
I'm gonna
business.
add Simone Biles to that too. I just thought about her. That guy
awesome.
is an opportunist jerk, and
He
she's
don't
going to
even want
regret it.
her.
He don't.
He
He
is not
doesn't.
she is not his type.
And that goes for Travis Kelsey too. He's using Taylor Swift. He's the one going to get
Oh
because
yeah,
Taylor
But
Swift is
yeah.
actually talented.
but he's a,
He's a
a
college
black
donut.
man acting white. We don't want him anyway.
No, he's
Ew.
a
Yeah, he.
college donut.
Ew.
Yeah,
He'll get what's coming to him.
Yeah,
But I
ew.
just want the young black girls to see
you
the
know what?
difference. Don't chase
I
up the skin tone. Go at the integrity.
Exactly.
And black men have blown it. I don't care if they I don't care
what
about Kinsey and all that stuff, what he was saying. They've blown it. It's done. Go get a
hey
white woman and stay away from us.
what was Travis Kelsey's girlfriend's name before Taylor Swift?
I think
Kyla
it was
Nicole.
Kayla or something.
Kayla Nicole.
Yeah.
I I mean, she was so
And see,
much more beautiful than Taylor.
she
It,
was, but she didn't realize it. Why are you in his house and cleaning his
yeah,
tub and what? You're not his wife, and he's not paying you. So even
right.
though they're beautiful and they're educated, they don't have a sense of self. I wonder what her relationship with her father is. I haven't looked it up yet.
I don't
She
know.
was still black male adjacent, to be honest with you, because it's
Yeah, that's why
only
she's
those
everywhere
types that do
crying.
that.
It's annoying.
Yeah. Yeah,
Yeah,
Like,
she
girl, look
was
in the
that type.
mirror and see how gorgeous
Hmm.
you are and how
Yeah.
brilliant you are.
She was
right.
still
Make it look
black male
ebony.
adjacent because that's what she chose him because he act like a Dusty, and so that's
Yeah,
where her mindset was. She was not fully divested. If she was fully divested,
Mhm.
she would. He do 50-50 and he making all this money and all
Yes.
that.
And
Please,
then
like she's
bragging
like
about this nonsense. But you see
ew,
how he's acting with Taylor Swift only because it's Taylor Swift.
man.
exactly.
And I
I
know
th-
where the transition happened with him is when he went to that picnic, that rooftop picnic, and he met Paul McCartney. He knew he was in a different league.
Hmm.
yeah, I think Travis Kelsey's trying to get a bag. I
Yeah,
really
Taylor Swift is
look.
not his type. She's
No,
not his
no,
type.
no.
He's an opportunist.
That yeah, he's an opportunist and he's got a black woman on the side. I guarantee it.
Yeah, he
You
probably
you
do.
yeah no
Biracial one or something. He's got something.
yeah, he's got something. I Taylor Swift. I just she's
But
just
Brent,
a
did you see what I put in the chat though about what you were saying about Becky and
uh
the black man?
uh.
Okay.
I
I
miss.
said the black man secretly desires the white
Oh
woman.
yeah, I saw
He's
that.
using
Yeah.
the white woman
I think
to
so
get
too.
to the. Because have you seen the Tyler Perry situation?
Oh
Oh,
yes,
what happened with
yeah, I
that?
believe that. I believe that.
He
I
got
believe that
two
he
white
is in
men
love.
about to
I
sue
believe
him
that he is.
for
I believe
sexual
that most
harassment.
black
I believe
men.
he did it.
Oh,
I believe he
oh.
did
Yes,
it.
he did.
I
Of
I
course he
heard
did.
something about that, but I was thinking, oh, that's a well. I don't know. He does get in a dress a lot. I don't.
But
You
that
know,
baby that he had isn't his. All that's
I was,
fluke. All that's nonsense. It's a ploy.
yeah,
I don't believe that I don't believe he ever slept with her. I believe that
I don't
they
think so.
probably
I
went
think
to
he
the
paid her to say that's his
yeah,
child, and
to be
she
a bit,
was
yes,
she was a beard.
yeah.
No, no, no.
'Cause there's no
That
he
man
don't
is
like women at all.
GAY.
And this is exactly why he was telling black women to just
To
accept the bare
take the light
minimum.
bill guy. Then
Yeah,
you
because he
can't
don't
have a
like
white
he doesn't
man,
like
but
black
he can
women.
chase after a white man. Please.
Exactly. He doesn't like black women because why you keep
Nope.
showing these same movies of
He don't
black
like
women
the
always
JJ either.
struggling, always picking the janitor, always that he doesn't like women. He doesn't like black women at
I
all.
don't watch
He
his
hates black
movies.
women.
I do. I knew something was up with him when he did The Family That Prays, and he had the interracial relationship looking crazy. I was like, no, we're done with
Because
this
he
now.
wanted a white man for himself. Now we know.
Right. Two of them apparently. They're both suing him.
Seriously though.
wow.
They
I
got
think
the text
he have a
message and
type.
everything. Brent, you have to go
Yeah.
investigate it
Yeah,
Well,
do some research on it.
because black women need to see, like you were saying, they want you to hate the white man like he's the enemy, so he can turn around and get close to him.
You know,
The white woman is a Trojan horse. They don't really want her. They want to use her to get to Brad.
yeah, yeah, and you know what? What's crazy is I think black men want white men to hate black women too,
He
and
does.
and the reason I say that is growing up, you know when you're a teenager, you think, okay, I love black women, so if I have black friends, it could be my, get your foot in the door. No, it's the opposite. Actually, they'll try to sabotage your relationship,
Mm-hmm.
and they'll even try to talk to you. No, man, just stay with the white girl because she's better for you, and she,
He wants the white man to see us as lowly,
yeah,
like a plantation thing, like we're just something to play around with until he comes around and want to deal with him or something. He
right.
doesn't want the white man to love us, and it's not
It's
going to work.
it's weird. It's like, oh no, man, just stay with the white. She'd be because black, and they'll talk about black women. Oh, they're crazy, and you wouldn't understand
Mm-hmm.
them. And no, you're better off. Like they're
Get an
trying to,
attitude, That's because of you. You gave us the attitude.
and really, you get to know the black woman, and it's not what he's saying. And the thing with the stereotype, the loud, the attitude, I've never experienced that with black women. I think I seen one black woman act out crazy to fit that, but every black woman I've known don't carry herself that way.
The only racist white people I see are on TV. I don't see them in my real life.
Yeah. But I mean, it's just a stereotype they try to push on you, and you're like, this ain't the black woman. This ain't.
The black man has backed himself into a corner of powerlessness because he didn't build families. He doesn't care about education. He didn't take care of what he was supposed to take care of. And now it's kind of too late. So he's lashing out and he's doing all this silly thing, but he's only destroying himself and anybody who wants to deal with him.
Yeah. Were you saying, Indiana Mom? Who looks uncomfortable with Taylor Swift? Oh, we're talking about Travis
Hey,
Kelce.
Indiana Mom, how you doing? I'm not looking at the chat.
Yeah. Hey,
I came
Indiana
in
Mom.
through Chrome, so I
No,
can't.
I guess she's want to know what we're talking about with Taylor Swift. We're
Oh,
talking about
then he's
Taylor
an
Swift and
opportunist.
with
Yeah.
Travis Kelce. Yeah, he
He's an
should have.
opportunist, just like ASAP Rocky is an opportunist.
Right. You know what? He should have stayed with Kyla Nicole because that black woman was loving. She was all in, and I know she ain't wealthy like Taylor Swift, but that
but
woman was
she lost
worth.
her integrity. She made herself look cheap in his eyes, and that's where
Right.
it went left.
But I mean, she was worth $2 million. She's a
Yeah.
millionaire.
I mean,
I
she's a
mean,
good person. I saw her
right.
interview, the first one, when she was talking about it, but she also talked about all the things she did for him, and she messed up. You're not his wife. You shouldn't be doing any of that stuff.
Right, right. Well, she probably thought it was going to go further,
I
and
wouldn't do it now. I wish my husband would ask me to. I was like,
yeah,
I'm leaving you. You better get out of my face.
but yeah, he's an opportunist, and you know what? I think back on this, he was acting like the stereotypical black dude.
He
You know,
was.
with the black woman first, and then get with the white woman to get the bag. I
Hmm.
just thought about that.
Yep. I saw it the whole time. I was like, because you see all the performing he's doing. You see how he pops up everywhere suddenly.
Yeah.
I mean, when
It-
he was dating other people, you saw him on the football team, and that was it.
right.
And now he's everywhere. Now
And,
he's trying to make a movie, and he's doing too much.
he's I think he's trying to get something going after football. And
Well, that's a smart thing to do, but he needs to do it separate from her. Because
yeah.
if he messes up or if she gets tired of him, everything he's acquired through her, that's all gonna fall.
Yeah.
And
Well,
then
I
he's gonna
don't I
try to
don't
call Paul McCartney and realize his
Paul McCartney.
his
You know what?
phone's been
I
blocked.
I I don't think either one cares for each other. I think they're both using each other.
Well, I think Taylor likes him, but I think she likes him for what she knows of him.
Yeah.
The one she really liked was Harry Styles, and he's wearing a blouse, so who knows?
Hey, what I forget the guy's name, but there was one guy Taylor Swift was dating, and he ended
Mhm.
up getting with a black woman.
Oh,
Yeah, because I saw.
Gyllenhaal?
I don't know who she dated, but there was one guy they were saying that he dated a black woman after Taylor Swift.
Jake Gyllenhaal.
Oh, is that who it was?
Hmm.
Oh, okay.
I don't know if they're together now, but yeah.
Yeah.
I don't have anything against Taylor Swift. I like her, but she need to be smarter because she's an actual talent. She's a songwriter, and she seems to move strategically in her business. Well, black women do that too, but when it comes to their hearts, you gotta be careful. There's nowhere in the world I would have had a baby with ASAP Rocky if I was Rihanna. I don't
Yeah,
know.
right.
That's
Like,
food.
but you know what? A lot of black women are being used by these black men. I mean, if you look at
I know.
Rihanna, you look at Keisha,
Kiki.
you look at Keisha Cole, you look at
Mm-hmm.
Mary J. Blige.
Yeah. Every
Who
time I
else?
see Mary J. Blige,
Uh,
all I see is depression.
yeah, like she's
So
just
sad.
depressed, hurt,
Jill
and
Scott. Ugh.
yeah, who's that other woman that was taken for a ride? I can't think of her name.
Monique.
Uh, not Monique. God, I can't think of her name. She's an R&B singer. She was in The Color Purple, the new one. God, what's her name?
Fantasia?
Fantasia. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah, her husband's a dusty. But then Kelly
yeah.
Washington's husband is a dusty.
What? And it blows my mind because you got these
It's
high.
backwards in the black community. The only thing they care about is these they can dress these men up and make them look like they're something, but they don't really care that they're anything. And
Yeah, and
then when that blows up in their face and the guy resents them because he hasn't done anything, stood on his own, have anything to accomplish, then it turns into a B. Smith situation.
yeah,
Ugh.
it just blows my mind because these high profile black women, like top tier black women,
And beautiful. Got everything going
beautiful,
for them.
talented, everything going, and they're
Their
treated like
self-esteem
crap.
is in the toilet.
Yeah, but then you look at Whitney Houston too with Bobby Brown. Like, what the heck?
Mhm.
Something was
Yeah.
wrong.
And Kevin Costner is still crying over her.
Oh God, you know what? I think something was going on with them because he's more emotional than Bobby Brown, or
He
I
is.
mean, he acts like he was her husband. I mean,
Yeah.
he
He it's like it could be fun for Jewel, who he's actually dating, but
yeah, I mean
I'm like,
that,
why are
that
you still crying over this dead woman? What's wrong with you?
oh God, he's in love with her.
Yeah, he
Like,
was in love with Whitney Houston, but she wanted
oh
Bobby
God, that
Brown, and we all see where that went to.
yeah, I think there was an opportunity missed because I think she would have been still alive. I think she would have been happier because he loved her. I
Yeah, I
mean,
think
if
they
he would
both would
have
have been happy.
if he would have got to her before Bobby, I think.
And Patrick Swayze, he wanted to date Whoopi Goldberg before he met Lisa, but she didn't want to
Oh,
date.
did he? Oh, I did.
Yeah, that's
Wow.
why she got the role of Ghost. He thought he
Wow.
could get shook. I seen pictures
Wow.
of Whoopi Goldberg when she was young. She was actually
Oh,
pretty. She just looked
mhm.
hippie-ish, but she
Yeah.
wasn't unattractive. She just got
Mm.
that South African face.
Yeah. Well, I think she aged too because of her smoking
Yeah,
and
she looks awful. She looks awful
yeah.
now, but when she was in Jumping Jack Flash and what else she was in? She was like with her when she was really young. Made in America. She was actually nice looking.
Yeah.
And I saw one when she hosted the Oscars and she did all the changing, all the fittings. She actually has a nice figure, and she's
Mm,
got all her hair is her own.
mm,
So she didn't take care of her youth.
yeah.
But the
Yeah, I
next
just
time
feel
you
like a
have
lot of
movie night, Brent, you need to have Paris Blue.
Paris
Watch
Blue.
that movie, Paris Blue. It stars Paul Newman and Diane Carroll. Forget,
Oh,
forget
yeah,
Fender
yeah.
Force.
Paris Blues. Yeah. Oh God, yes. I love that movie. Oh my God. It.
I
Oh.
haven't seen it in a while, but I was thinking, I said next time Brent have a movie night, show
Oh
that to
yeah.
Sam.
That would be a good one. I tell you, Diane Carroll was one of the most beautiful women.
She was,
Oh
but she
my
was still
God.
a mammy. She was still a mammy.
Yeah, but she's beautiful though.
She was beautiful. I
Yeah,
liked her in Grey's Anatomy. I mean, she was
yeah. Even when she
she
got
was
up
in
in
the
age,
South
she was
African scene.
beautiful.
Yeah, she
Well,
was.
well, black women they age like wine. I mean,
We do, don't we?
yeah. Look at
I'm not
Angela.
even up there, but
eh,
it's like we do.
Look at Angela Bassett. Oh my gosh,
Well,
she still
I
looks
know. I was just
beautiful. Like
talking to someone about that. It's like
I'm like,
we were
wow.
watching This Is Us, and they
Mm,
were talking. I was talking about how the actress that's playing an older woman, she's really young in real life, but you can still see the signs of you can see the crow fees in her neck looks like that for real.
yeah.
And I'm like Angela Bassett, and she's supposed to be 70 years old, I think the
Oh
mom,
God,
when
she
they all
she.
grow up. But Angela Bassett is like 70 and Iman is 70 and they look awesome.
Well,
So
yeah,
I tell
and
black all the time, I tell the young black girls, don't believe any of that nonsense black men are telling you. That's
yeah,
all projection. They're jealous of you. They see
they.
you as competition for white men's attention. It's weird because they're men. They
It's
shouldn't
weird,
want the white man's attention.
right?
But that's what it is.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I see black women up in age, and I'm like, wow. And you know what? What's crazy is, black women will have younger guys like make their move on them, thinking they're
Mhm.
younger than what they are.
I get guys chasing me that are like 17. I always have to tell them, no, no, I'm grown and I'm married.
Yeah,
Because I still look like I'm 19 and I'm not.
yeah, yeah. Black women do age nicely. They do.
I'm sure Shelly is nice looking too.
Oh yeah,
Thank you. Thank you very
of
much.
course.
I mean, we are amazing. We are unique. We're amazing. So the black man really dropped the ball.
They
Because
did,
if
and,
he made all of this, and yet he sees no I don't know what's going on with him, but he
Yeah,
seems there's something wrong with him. It's deeper than just his own self-loathing. He got a real issue with his existence, and
yeah,
so he
you know
wants to
what?
project that onto us. But just walk away. Just go find someone else that you can go find that white dog you want to screw. Just
Oh
go
God,
away.
I I can't believe that guy said that.
Yeah,
Wow.
that,
Um.
man, they say some weird off the wall thing. And Anton, he is not married to a black woman.
Oh, he's
His
not.
wife is no, his wife is Filipino.
Oh, okay.
Hmm. And
Well, I
she doesn't look happy.
yeah, I don't know. It just seemed like when he was doing that review on K Michelle, it was like he was caught in his feelings, trying to come up with an excuse, and well, it's always our fault. Well, you're a man. It's
Yeah.
I don't know.
He
I
gave
guess
me ZL vibes because he was on. I don't know if Shelly saw that, but he was on the live where he said the black woman was the worst enemy, worse than the white man, worse than white supremacy. Did you see that?
I didn't see that.
Yeah, he said that, and all these black women were shocked. And then you saw a glimpse of his wife, but you seen her on something where he was trying to compare black women to other women's beauty, and he let it
Yeah.
slip out. And I was like, I knew his wife wasn't black, but I thought he was married to. I gotta watch what I say up here. I thought he was married to a Decepticon, trying to pretend like he was a woman.
Who
No,
knows?
she's Filipino.
Oh,
He's
Filipino.
Filipino. If anybody know who Tony Gaston is, his wife is Filipino. Don't let these men fool you into thinking they're married to black women. They're not.
Mm.
But they keep trying to pander to us. Public offender, his wife is white, but he keeps trying to pander to black women. So no, we don't need you to pander us. Go away.
Right.
Go ahead, Brent.
I just okay. No, I'll just tonight. I just wanted to talk about uh the hatred for the swirl, and actually and I don't know why there's such a it's like a what is it called? It's like a campaign to try to shut down the swirl.
Yeah, it's a smear campaign.
Yeah, swirling or divesting and trying to vilify it, like, but actually, when I go through the data, we're doing better than everybody else.
We are. And our
And
marriages are lasting.
yeah, and people tell me, "Oh, you're just lying. You're saying that." I say, "Well, look at the CDC. Look at the Pew Research. Look at the U.S. Census and where they track marriages, and and they do it by race. They do, and they show and they'll average it out who lasts longer. They'll even do it by the children, and there's been studies on biracial children,
Mm-hmm.
and and I think there's some truth to that, where biracial children tend to do better when the mother's black than the father. And I know I've talked about that, and I really get hate on that. How could you say that? But I don't know. It just seems like the black woman is more organized than the white woman. I
I was in
mean,
the supermarket today, and I saw a white woman with her adopted little black child, and her
mhm.
hair wasn't combed, and she looked ashy. And I'm like, "Aren't you the mother? What is this?"
Yeah. Well, I just think black women navigate better in interracial relationships,
Well,
and
we
then
used to be little black girls, so we know what the child needs.
yeah.
Whereas I'm not saying all white women, but a lot of them, they I think they look at these children like accessories, like I
Mm.
got one or something like that.
Yeah.
And so they don't really look at their needs. And we know black men don't look at their needs. I mean, have you seen Brian McKnight and his nonsense?
No. It you know what was, what's funny is my wife always did my daughter's hair and stuff, and there was one day, and this was back when I was in the army, and uh I, our children were little, right? And my youngest daughter, her hair is long like crazy, but it's curly, right? And it's thick. And I, I would, my wife is at work because it's a weekend, and I was off, and I was taking care of the kids, and uh, I tried to do my daughter's hair, and my oldest daughter's like, "Dad, no, no, no." So she went and took care of her hair, but
At least you tried, though.
I did try. it would, yeah. They still laugh about it today, and yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I love doing my hair. I used to do my niece's hair, but I love doing my hair. It's like that's another myth. It's like black women have to learn how to fall in love with our beauty again, like the young girls. And first of all, you have to stop dealing with black men, stop dating them, and go and stop looking at television and all that nonsense that portrays us wrong. Get a passport and go travel the world and look at the planet and see your connection to it.
Yeah.
And that way you will end up gravitating toward who you're meant to be with, and it will shock you who it
Yeah.
is.
Yeah.
Shelly, are you with anyone now?
No, right now I'm not with anybody at the moment.
Okay. Well, I hope you find love.
Thank you.
You know, our Corey is looking for someone.
Who? Corey?
Corey.
Hey,
Who's
I
cool?
wonder what Corey's doing.
That's what I said. Where is he tonight?
Yeah, Corey,
Oh,
where are
Corey?
you? Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I just
Yeah.
want to say, like women, like we have to save ourselves. Like, it's just like a lot of black women love struggle. A lot of black women, it's like they love, and we have to get out of their way. Somebody have put in the chat that we can't just paraphrasing, like you can't save everybody. You can't. It's
No,
like
you can't. But you
you just
can
have to.
shine a light way for them. They love
You can,
trauma because that's all
yeah. They
all the
know.
yeah. But Shelly, they love trauma because that's all these men have introduced them. They've starved them of love and put all
Yes.
this like drama and. I think all black men are zesty in my book, but I'm gonna let that be. But I think they all have DL issues, and so they're jealous of women and.
Yeah.
Oh,
Everything they talked about us, the moment
Mhm.
they decide they think they want to become a woman or try to be one, they can never be one, but put on the costume, they do everything that they were making fun of you about. You ever notice that?
Exactly. They just
hey,
jealous because
hey,
they want to be us so bad.
hey, Republic Room. Good to see you, young lady. It's been a while. Says long time, Roadrunner. Just throwing a little support your way. Hello to your wife, and hey, chat and mods. Hey, good to see
Hello.
you. Hey, this is a good night. You know what? This is awesome. Yeah, I haven't seen you in a while. And hey, this is awesome. Seeing some people come up, haven't been here for a little while. But yeah, good to see you. Probably 2 years. Yeah, it's been a while. Good to see you. I
I know
hope you're
it's
doing
summer.
well.
Everybody's traveling.
Yeah.
I'm surprised Indiana
It's
Mom
good
didn't
to
come
see
up.
you. Thank you for the super chat. I appreciate it. It's good to see you. You made my day. and you guys made my day. Shelly, you made my day, and Godiva Goddess, you made my day, and Republic and Indiana Mom was here. And hey, Alexander, good to see you. Man, this is a good night. I feel pretty good. I might sleep good tonight. Good to see you guys. Oh, that's awesome. Yeah, but thank you so much. Hey, and you're welcome here anytime. Yeah.
I love it when everybody's exclusive.
Yeah, it's yeah, but thank you for the super chat, Republic. I appreciate that. Good to see you, young lady. Yeah, man, it feels good when you see people that haven't been here for a little bit, and but people are busy, and with YouTube, I kind of took a break here and there. There for a while, I was just getting burned out, and
I know it can get tiresome sometimes. I'm not even on YouTube like that, but
yeah, as much as I like it just you get burned out with the haters, and
that's why I was like, I said I'd be glad when Brent is done with all of them and get back to just being about us and him.
Right.
Bring Miss Sandy back. Where is Miss Sandy tonight? It's like, bring Miss Sandy back.
Yeah, I'm gonna do a video with her. I was just
talk more about your love and all that and your travel,
right?
Because you all just came back from a trip, right?
Yeah, we went out to Georgia for a while. My brother lives in Atlanta, so we went out there, and then I told my wife, I said, you know what? Because I was burned out. I said, we're just going to go see my brother, and my niece graduated, so we spent time with my brother, and I was like, you know what? Let's get an Airbnb and let's go in the middle of Georgia somewhere. I don't care where it is. Get away from everything, and just have time with me and my wife, and that's what we did. I made one video out there, but I didn't really do YouTube. We just kind of got away from it. And sometimes you just got to clear your head. But even though I just I was itching to get back and do a video and live, and I don't know, I love doing it. It just got so toxic. And instead of talking about swirl to investment, and I was getting into beefs with people, and I'm just like, this is
preparing defenses. I'm like, that all that stuff will drain you. That's what black women always had to do. You always have to explain why. It's like, no, you don't. Just tell these men to kick rocks and get on being fabulous you.
Yeah.
And you should do the same thing, Brent, because we all came here to bond with you. We don't care about what idiots and dusties have to say.
Right. And that's what I did. I took a little break.
You and Miss Sandy.
Yeah. I just, man, my wife is awesome.
She is. We love her.
I tell you, I mean, I can't even say how amazing
we love all
the
regulars. We love Miss Sandy. We love Indiana Mom. We love all the regulars that usually come up. I forget the lady that had the gold blonde wig. I miss her too. I forgot her name.
Yeah.
But we miss her. She was fun.
Yeah.
And of course, Corey.
You know who I miss that I wish would come back, but she probably won't, is pro
white male. I miss her too.
Yeah, I miss her. I miss hashtag Black Woman.
Yes, I miss her too.
Oh gosh, I got some videos we did back in the day. I still have them where we did one-on-one shows, and
I like her too. I miss her.
Yeah, she actually, with her, she kind of built my channel because it was.
I
But
used
I
to
get,
watch her too, and
yeah,
I saw her. I said every time you start talking to them and arguing with them, they're going to drain you.
right. And yeah, they were coming for her left and right, and
Yeah.
she was like, she'd always tell me, "Don't let it get to you. Don't take a break.
Yeah.
Just get
Yeah.
away from it for a
Just
while."
get away.
And I
I'm
understand
gonna
what
give a
she was
shout
talking about.
out. I'm gonna give a shout out the person because DZ does not care what they have to say. She does not
Yeah,
care.
yeah, I
So
know.
shout out to the zealot.
Yeah, yeah, she just tells it like it is. I
She
wish I could.
does.
I wish I could do it like that, but
She
I'm a
does.
white guy. I'll get thrown out of here.
She
Like,
broke down the history. She showed us all the things we did not see, we did not know. I mean, I wasn't in the Hebrew Israelite, but as a little girl, I try to think the best of black men to discover all this stuff and see all this jealousy and this nonsense. Oh no, we're done with them. It's like, no, white men don't even have anything to do with it. It's just seeing their treachery, seeing how they never liked us, the dumb reasons why they don't like us. It's like, no, we're done with you. We're done with you. It will
yeah,
never, ever be the same. It's done. And then we're just gonna watch the rest of the women that won't learn the lesson. We're gonna watch them get picked off and fall. They need to go to another shout out. They need to go to Leah Gordon's channel because she's also educated a lot of us on the treachery of black men. It's sad. It's really sad to be a group of women where you really cannot depend or turn to the supposed counterpart. But he always expects all this from you and he has nothing to offer. There's no reciprocation, there's no reciprocity. It's like if you listen to all those songs, especially like I used to love Lauryn Hill, but when I listen to her songs now, all I hear is struggle love. And it's like, whoa, why didn't I hear all this stuff when I heard it before? I can't even
right.
listen to X Factor anymore because it just doesn't sound the same. And so I do hashtag black women and I give them all the kudos for
Yeah, I
opening
miss
our
her so
eyes and
much.
it saved our lives.
Yeah,
And I
yeah.
think
It's heck. I've been here for 4 years now. Time has flown. Uh, yeah, it's been crazy. Hey there, Alexander. What's going on? How's it going?
No, nothing much. Just I was just listening in, and I have to rewind it, and like it's like, uh, and it's like at this point, what's the use of black women staying race loyal? Yeah, at this point, and yeah, I I'm a I'm a black man, and I dropped a few videos on Wednesday and Thursday, and it's like it's like the the black men who complain the most about black women, even though they are the ones that treat black women wrong and everything. They wind up doing the same with other races of women. And and at this point is just why remain race loyal at this point when it's obvious most black men want black women beneath them. So at this point, and what I saw in that video by Anton Daniels tonight, I came to a conclusion that maybe it is best for Black women to open up their options. Now you gonna have the Black women that are all about, the Black king and everything, but I don't believe that the Black man's king. I don't believe that the white man is king. There's only one king, and and he is watching all of us. And like I'm and like another thing that I'm upset about is is you know Black women keep calling Black men kings, and and well, the pygmies are calling Black men kings. I'm trying to talk about. I'm trying to think to think, where is the kingdom? That's it.
Yeah.
Like where is it? I mean, is it somewhere far away in a fairy tale land that we don't know about? Because all I see in on every story that comes out, all I see is just uh, Black men complaining about Black women, and
Right.
I know it's not all of us, but it's the majority of us.
Yeah.
So again, why should Black women remain race loyal if the majority is complaining about Black women all day?
Yeah. Hey, I just want to say good night to Republic Room. Good to see you, young lady. You have a good night. She said, I'm going to head to sleep while I listen to y'all. Great to tune in again. So glad you're still making content. Well, thank you so much. I'm so glad you came up. It was good seeing you. Um, I said you made my day. And ladies, you coming up? That I haven't seen you guys in a while. This is awesome. It really is. But thank you so much for coming up. It's good to see you. Um, but yeah, you have a good night and have a good weekend. Okay. I just want to do a shout out, guys. Um, yeah, I think Alexander, I think Black women just need to go where they're loved and are appreciated. Um, Black women are the best option and deserve the best option. That's how I see it. Whatever color that is, Black women, you deserve the best. And it what's going on here in America? It's a numbers game, and you outnumber Black men by what, over 2 million? I think that's what they calculated. And you're dealing with the men that date and marry out the most. And I looked at the statistics. For men, statistically, that date and marry out the most is Black men. And for women, is Asian women. A lot of Asian women are dating and marrying white men. In America right now, there are more Asian women married to white men than Asian men. Isn't that crazy? Uh, Now, if we could get it to where Black women and white men are.
Because I mean, Asian women got the memo years ago. You go where the power is.
Yeah.
And you're in this
Thank
country, the
you.
dynamic power, the ruling power is the white man. So
Exactly.
she's gonna go where the power is, and Black women need to go where the power is.
You go where the protection is also.
Exactly.
who wants to protect, who wants to provide, who wants to be a good father, who wants to love, who wants to reciprocate, who wants to give reciprocity, who wants to
Exactly.
be that lover and wants all that beauty and love in his life. That's where you go. You don't sit on TV and beg some man to want you and fight for you. You look pathetic. K. Michelle.
Okay, Michelle.
Ridiculous. Really? I didn't even know that. I didn't know
Oh,
that she
yeah.
did that.
He just
Also,
showed it.
That's crazy to me.
Yeah, she's talking to the cat in the hat.
Oh my god.
the cat in the hat cabinet.
It just pushes black.
Black women know who that is.
This
Yeah.
is why black men have the ego that they have, is because y'all fighting over these men that can't do nothing for a black man. Can't do nothing for me. What he get everything I own and the job I work for was created by white men. Like what can he do for me?
And
It's
everything you
ridiculous.
got is by your own determination and your own efforts. All
Mhm.
he's done is hide behind everyone's skirt and whine and cry and complain and
And
throw
nest in
rocks
other
and
men's
hide his hand.
patriarchy.
That's not a man. That's a
Yeah.
child.
Black men rest in other men's patriarchy.
That's it. Hide in it.
You're right. Hide. That's a good analogy. They hide in it by boosting up their woman. But when you look at how the men protect, build, and provide, of course their woman is gonna be act a different way because her men provide and builds for her. I'm Godiva, let me ask you a question. Did you ever see the video that was taken down by the mammies and the black kings? Um that a black woman had made a video, I think it was on TikTok. And basically, she was going around. She was like, "Well, since black men are comparing us to other races of women, let me start comparing black men to other races of men." Did you see that? And she was going into the black neighborhood, and she was pointing out that how it was the Arabs, that the Chinese man that owned the businesses in the black community. Did you see that video?
No, I did not.
Of
Who
course
is
not.
that?
You
I'll
know
look it
why?
up though.
Because they no, it's taken down because the mammies was upset. You understand
Oh,
what I'm saying?
no, no, I did
Saying,
not. I usually see
yes.
all the videos, but
She was
I didn't
like,
see
okay,
that
since you're
one.
comparing, we're gonna compare you to other men. And of course, like clockwork, my son here, black men, black women, yes, I'm trying to tell you, black women are the own worst enemies.
Oh,
You know what I'm
yeah.
saying? Like you sit
Yeah,
down and you
I've
see,
always known that the mammies. I did see the video.
yeah,
Did you see the video the zealot made about let's cry about colorism, where she basically turned it on the black men when they were crying about some guy getting cast as Green Lantern, and he was light
yes,
skinned with
because he
green
was a light
eyes,
skinned
and
guy.
she said the tears are delicious.
Yeah, because when black women were complaining about non-black women
Storm,
were taken,
storm,
huh?
storm. That Halle
That was
Berry and whatever the other girl
yeah.
name was. It's
Black
like
men
we know
don't
what
care.
Storm looked like. We know what Stanley
Right.
made Storm look like.
Yeah, black men don't care if it does
Yeah,
not.
they said,
If
well,
it
it's
does,
just a
if that
preference. What difference does it make?
right,
Black is black. But
exactly,
then,
and black women,
okay, black is black. They chose a light skinned black man with some green
right?
contacts. Stop crying.
Yeah, it just goes.
Hey,
It's one of the trillionth example of how black men do not care about black women.
They
They
don't.
don't care. We will complain about stuff. If it does not affect them, they don't care. And that's what we got to do. If it does not affect us, we do not care. Like, no.
It's like they don't
hey,
care about the children. That's what really gets me. I mean, that thing with Brian McKnight disgusted me.
hey, did you guys see where Marvel Comics is the next Black Panther's a white guy? Did you see that?
I thought that was a joke. Is it true?
I don't know. Is it true? Because I've seen all
Okay.
kinds of videos on it.
They should make him Indian, completely insult them. Have the Indian guy the same color as a black man, except he's Indian.
Well,
Good
It
looking.
might
That would be
it might have been
hilarious.
it might have been a joke. I think because they were
oh,
casting a black Little Mermaid, I guess they was like, well, since you're, y'all cat, you know what I mean? Like, yeah,
yeah.
like since y'all have a black Little Mermaid, can we have a Black Panther? You know what I mean? So, I
Make
think it
Black
might
Panther
be, it
white.
might be,
That's funny.
yeah. I mean, if he could act, I mean, I don't see why not? If he could, if he could do the job,
Yeah.
why not?
I thought they were gonna make Ryan Gosling Black Panther. That's hilarious.
No, I saw that. I was like, is this true? But I don't know. Yeah, that's probably a joke because they'd probably be rioting in the streets if they did that.
I'm like, well,
It,
I don't
it
even
was
know
a
why
what?
they made Color Purple a musical. How is that a musical? That's weird.
Yeah, it was.
I know
Who
that
was the
was
one
weird.
that created? Who was the white guy that Rod Stanley? Who was the white guy that created Black Panther?
I don't know.
Well, Stan Lee created Marvel. He created
Yeah.
all
So
that
why
stuff.
should anybody should be upset? This is what I'm talking about. Black man didn't create anything. So what is he upset about? As a matter of fact, they should make him white. Because black
Exactly.
man didn't create. It's not like black man created it. It was a white
Exactly.
man that
You're right
created
about
it, and
that.
then
You're right.
black people running around Wakanda forever. It was a white. You see what I'm saying? This is crazy. It was a white
Yeah.
man that created the whole concept of Black Panther and Wakanda.
Exactly. He
So
did
why
make
shouldn't
all
a
that
white man
stuff.
play it? He should play Black Panther. You didn't
Didn't they
create
make Captain
anything.
America black? So it's just
Oh my God! Really?
What's that?
Really?
I'm not watching that.
What's that?
Captain America?
Yeah, what's that
Yeah,
loser
they
name?
did.
His name is Anthony something.
Yeah,
Really?
It
the
didn't make
next.
any money, so they went back to
Of
Chris
course
Evans.
not. That's
Oh,
ridiculous.
oh,
In my opinion,
People.
in
Oh
my
my God.
opinion, I still believe that Steve Rogers was the best Captain America, hands down. They should never have changed Captain America from Steve Rogers
Is that the actor?
because it because it's like Sam Wilson as Captain America. That don't look right to me. It really don't. It's like, wait a minute, what? At least they have the Red Hulk in it. That's it.
Okay.
yeah, because that's who he was before, wasn't it?
Actually, Sam Wilson was the Falcon. The
Oh,
Falcon.
the Falcon. Oh, okay. Yeah, he was
Yeah,
one of them.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I also want to say that Storm is a beautiful dark skinned black woman
Right.
in the comic books.
Tall. Halle Berry's too short. And the
Think
other
so?
woman is too short. It's like, did you not see what he made? It should be what's her name? Anook. She could be Storm.
You know what? I think when it comes to characters, I think Catwoman should always be a black woman.
Yes. Halle Berry did a good job being Catwoman. The movie sucked, but
Yeah,
she looked awesome.
yeah, why couldn't they put her in with the Batman? Because I look at the old comic books and maybe it's just me, but it always seemed like Batman and Catwoman had that love affair, even though they're both sides of the law, and Catwoman's kind of on the fence, sort of. But the comic books, she did look dark complected, So I wonder if that was supposed to be a black woman, kind of resembling forbidden love in a way back in the day. I don't know.
Maybe.
It could be, but Catwoman should be a black woman, and I think they need to bring a black Wonder Woman. And I believe in the comics there is a black Wonder Woman, like her sister, Diana's sister, but she's a black woman.
Okay.
Is that right? I do believe that.
I don't know.
But anyway, now we're talking about superheroes. So when you open up your options, you become a superhero. No.
I think the motto, her name is Anouk.
Who's that?
Her name is Anouk. I'm trying to think what's her last name.
Anouk?
But she's a model. She's 6 foot tall, gorgeous, deep chocolate skin. She would be excellent.
Oh, I know who you're
She's
talking
very
about.
beautiful. She has a very gorgeous face.
Yeah, she's got a real unique look to her.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's very beautiful. Yeah, I seen her. I was like, oh man. Yeah, and
she's got that sense of confidence. I think she would make a great Catwoman.
Oh yeah, she would.
I mean,
Yeah.
Catwoman, Storm, a great Storm. Well, she might make a Catwoman too. But
yeah, she'd do good on both. Yeah. Guys, I'm gonna have to.
Okay.
We've been on for 3 hours. I'm gonna have to close down here soon.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm just going to say to all the ladies in the chat, there is a I think it's on Instagram. It's called the origin of glamour. Glamour started with black women. Don't be fooled by white women were the ones that were glamorous. We were glamorous before all of this Hollywood stuff. So I would advise everyone to go look at that and see the real glamour, where glamour began and where glamour, transcends to. It was really interesting. Even I was like, whoa, really? And then it came through black women first. I didn't even realize that. Before Jean Harlow, there was Josephine Baker.
Yeah.
So that's all I have to say. And good night.
Now, good night. Thanks for coming up. Good to see you. Hey, before I go, do you guys want to say something before I close down the panel?
Shelly?
I think it's only right that the lady have their say, and then I'll have mine.
Okay.
Thank you, Alexander. I'll let Shelly go.
Yes, you can hear me good. Okay, yeah. So, yeah, like I said, black women need to open up their options and don't let this fear mongering that the black kings and the mammies is trying to do to deter you away from dating out, because they do it indiscriminately. They don't care, and no amount of Telbo, whatever his name is going to stop. Who?
Sambo
Telvin is going to deter them from dating a white woman. So we're not believing that anymore. Like I said, I see an uptick in black women with non-black men on my timeline. That's all I look at. And they're living healthy lives. They're taking care of their families. They're beautiful. They're not struggling. Their skin is glowing. They're natural. Okay. I know this is like we're winding down. I don't know if, let me just say this one thing. I don't know, when you were talking about when they was talking about our interracial or divesting gone wrong. Do you know, and I'm talking to everyone, do you know about the Marine and his beautiful black wife that was unalived?
Yes.
Oh,
Yes.
okay. You talk about okay,
Yeah.
because I came on
Yeah.
after like you did that. Okay. Yeah. So we're not falling for the tricks anymore. We're doing whatever we want, and yeah. Shout out to Divested Zila because I'm a member of her channel, and shout out to you, for Brent, for just being a lover of Black women, showing us love and respect, showing us how it is to be loved, what it is to be loved and protected. And I'm just, and I tell you this all the time when I come up here, I'm just so glad that I found your channel. And I've been tuning in, more regularly from now on. I had just like was going through a little stuff right now, but everything is situated. And so, yeah, that's all I wanted to say. And it was nice meeting Godiva and what's the other guy name? Adrian?
Alexander.
Alexander. I'm sorry, Alexander. Okay. So
Yeah.
thank you for having me up here tonight to join the discussion.
It's good
And stay
having you.
blessed. Yeah,
Good
stay blessed.
talking to you again. Yeah. That was awesome. Thank you so much for coming up.
Okay, love. Have a good night, guys.
You too. Have a good weekend.
Thank
I'm
you.
just going to say, Black women, remember, we deserve the best. We are the best. Go out there and learn who you are, learn your beauty, cherish it, appreciate it, and only give it to someone that's going to reciprocate for it. You are the queen. Don't ever forget that. And good night to everyone. Everyone.
Good night. Thank you so much. It is good having you on. And thank you so much for coming on the panel. I enjoyed the discussion tonight. This has been an awesome night. Thank you. And,
You're welcome. Shout out to Miss Sandy.
oh, thank you so much. I appreciate it. And she does too. Um, I just want to say my wife, she always tells me thank you for the support you give to me and thank you for the love you show both me and my wife. Okay. And my wife says the same thing. But, all right, Alexander.
Yeah, I also want to say, Black women, beware of these men who will try to gaslight you, and also beware of the narcissistic men that would try to also gaslight you, but also control you as well. And 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 also and also like the lady said, Black women are beautiful at the end of the day. And also remember who you are. You're not anyone's play toy. You are a human being that deserves love and respect, just like everyone else. And also, to those who want to fearmonger Black women, how come? And my question is, how come it's a one-sided thing? How come when it's time to call out what's going on within the community, all of a sudden they come up with the gaslighting tactics? And also, Black women, open up your options, and for the pick-me's that are going to watch this, please stop calling Black men kings. There's only one king, and he is up in the sky. and 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 Brett, it's been nice talking to you again, and I hope we have more conversations. Oh, and about the to the interracial couple that wrongfully had their lives taken. I will be by four. I think it was four Marine officers who were black. I will be doing that live stream on September 13th. It's going to be a part of the Black Femicide Stories series. That will be the first story that I will do on September 13th. Because this is just sick. It really is. First, we have black femicide going on within the community, and that's being gaslit. Now they're trying to warn black women about the white man and everything. This is insane. It really is. And I'm glad that there are not black women who are falling for it, because all they want is for black women to stay in a place of no security. That's exactly what they want. And then, but you still have black women who are falling for it. They're just brainwashed. But yeah, I'm like I said, it's been fun talking to you again, Brett, and I'm hoping that we can have more conversations. But yeah, I gotta go. I gotta get things prepared for the first live stream when I'm back on YouTube streaming again.
Okay, sounds good. Yeah, we can always have conversations. You're always welcome here, Alexander. It's good to see you, brother, and thanks for coming up tonight. This was a good show. It was a fun show, and I appreciate it. And Alexander, keep doing what you do. You are that man. You're that diamond in the rough. Keep doing what you do. Keep loving black women, showing them love, and you'll be blessed, brother. But thank you so much. It was good talking to you.
No problem.
All right. You have a good weekend and have a good night. Guys, thank you so much for being a part of this show tonight. Okay. Look, we're going to get hate when we open up our options. People don't like to see black women and white men together, but that's their problem. Okay. We go where we're loved, where we're celebrated, and we live our best life, right? And we get with people that share our common values and that love us, that we love, and that's what it's all about. Character over color. Okay. I'm going to say a quick prayer, and I'll see you guys next week for Saturday Night Swirl again. And just thank you for coming up, young ladies, and Alexander. It was a beautiful night. I truly enjoyed tonight. And you guys have a good weekend. Okay. And be safe. All right. I love you guys. Let me say a quick prayer. Lord, thank you for bringing everybody up tonight. Thank you for the show. Thank you for everyone here tonight, Lord. And please give everybody the courage to open up their options and find people that they love, that love them, and have people have the courage to open up their options and go where they're loved and celebrated. In Jesus' name I pray, amen. Guys, thank you so much. God bless. I'll see you guys next Saturday. Okay? And you have a good night. God bless.